You just have to go to the bottom right corner to do it of the touchpad, I believe.
Do you fellas see my miniature anywhere?
No, I can't see mine either.
Okay.
You put yours in here, John.
Okay.
Belsae.
I'm over here.
Oh,
I see her. I see her. Got it. She is tucked away. Wow.
Oh my god, this is so smooth. The settings are so high.
Nice. Nice.
Malcolm, if you have arrow keys, also the arrow keys will turn it, rotate it left, right, and pitch it up and down.
Wait, Malcolm, you got a new computer?
Oh yes, I got a new laptop. Last week Friday.
Only one with a gimpy computer now. Dang it.
I mean, I still have a desktop that's halfway decent. It just can barely run this for some strange reason, even though it runs everything else just fine.
Well, Malcolm, let me know what you got. I might get something similar.
You should just get what I got. Honestly,
Yeah,
it wasn't.
Just shoot me a link or off channel. I just message it to me or whatever, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I ordered it from CyberPower PC. They were having a deal.
Ooh.
I got
CyberPower.
Dude, CyberPower is great.
That's where I got my desktop from. I got this one was like after their 5% off deal that they were doing. This one was just a flat grand basically. I got an Nvidia 3060 or a 3050. I can't remember.
Oh shit, that's a real good piece of hardware right there.
Yeah, 17-inch screen. It's super fire.
I miss having one, a laptop, but two, a laptop with a 17-inch screen. Having such a big screen is so nice.
So it also came with a free headset, a free carrying bag, a mouse pad,
and this thing which tells time.
It even tells time, and it even has a boat.
So excited about your little freebies.
I love freebies.
You bought it. You bought it because of the freebies.
Oh, 100%.
You know what you did? You min-maxed your laptop.
Big time.
Big time. Min-maxed it.
Hey guys,
do you expect anything else?
Nope.
John, keep in mind if you're planning in the near future to get something new,
Mm-hmm,
remember the Black Friday deals are always really good.
Ooh, okay. I'm gonna make my move on Black Friday. That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I will send you just cyberpowerpc.com. They have
like
great Black Friday deals.
I'm gonna pounce like a cat.
That's when I got my PC off of them.
Are we Twitch streaming yet? Because I'd like the Twitchiverse to know that I had a really good date last night. / this morning.
In fact, they have an early Black Friday sale. They have an extra instant $50 off.
Hey. Nice. But do I get a carry case? Do I get a keychain or a bottle opener?
All orders over 5%, over $9.99 get a 5% instant rebate. In addition,
keychain.
And I think
looking for a keychain.
You're looking for a keychain.
Looking for a keychain. In the market for a keychain.
Ooh, they also they were also offering free shipping right now.
And a can koozie.
And a can koozie, yes.
Hell yeah, I'll drop $1,000 for a free coolie. Free can coolie. Coolie High Harmony.
Hilarious.
Well, I hope you all had a fantastic week. It's been a long week since we last met, and I've been anxiously awaiting the return of the Warforged Thursday group.
Yeah.
Last time on D&D.
So hard, game so hard.
Yeah, I think we're all here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Brian.
7. We're here.
Brian's here.
Okay. So quiet.
So, he's muted.
After reaching this encampment, so to speak, or this goblin encampment, you dealt with the goblins that were there and made some friends out of the Ents. They granted you safe passage through the rest of the forest, and you were actually able to keep a guide with you as well, a goblin hostage. Though,
surely he just volunteered
of his own volition.
That's how I remember it.
He seemed willing. As Jorn pointed out, goblins are indeed not welcome in New Cyre, so that may be a predicament upon arrival. May have to dispatch of the guide, but at that point, Jorn thinks he will have outweighed his worth anyway. that, question is how to travel, say 100 miles or so through open plains without any kind of means of travel or transportation, I should say.
Oh,
That is a good question. Is it morning? Did we finish our long rest? Or is it?
It's still nighttime, and I wanted you guys to be able to experience some roles in the night, but there was a solid amount of role play that took place in the RP chat that probably ate up some time, I'll say. So it's up to you guys if you want to. It wasn't going to be all that interesting anyway, in my opinion. So I think we could skip that if you guys want to just skip to morning.
I don't know. Let's do some hardcore night. Is this our first night watch session?
is.
This is
First night
we can't blow first night watch
Yeah.
off. Let's go. Let's do this.
Let's get back in our tents.
Yeah, man.
I
Get back in your tent. Back in your tents.
I already gave myself a long rest, so hopefully nothing happens.
Oh no.
Well, I guess
Back
it
in your
was just
tents.
it was the two elves that were just switching off, right?
Oh, I'll get up and watch.
I only sleep half the night anyway, so because I'm also an elf. There's not just two.
Wait, who's third? It's you and Tyrus.
Hi.
And Rock.
Oh, why did I think Rock was a half elf?
Nope. I'm a dark
Because
elf.
he's got half his arm blue and half his arm green. I don't know.
Ooh.
Good luck with your rolls or whatever.
Yeah, who's which watch which? Who is which watch?
Ooh.
I'll do.
I think we
I will
established
have
that.
the first half of the night along with whoever else.
I think you guys said last time it was gonna be Tyrus and Rock were taking first and second shift, and you guys were planning on splitting it.
Right, because elves can only need half the sleep.
Cody, would you stop scoreboarding us with the 4 hours of sleep? Just keep
Elves only
spiking the
need
football.
4 hours of sleep.
Where that's settled, it's been established.
Yeah, I almost feel sorry for, tieflings especially.
Don't feel sorry for me. I'm good to go. Especially Mac using tieflings. I mean, like, how am I
Especially
still
Mac
alive? I should be dead by now. I'll take fourth watch. Whoever wants to join me or whoever I'm joining, so be it.
I won't take a watch because no one don't need it.
Just rest your eyes. And I'll be awake with, I guess, Rock on the second half of the night. Even if I'm not necessarily watching.
So
he seems like a much more vigilant.
On each of your watches, what I'd like you to do is make a nature check as well as a perception check and add those two scores together.
Oh,
Ooh,
like this.
Alrighty.
Should we do it in turn or just roll now? Okay, rolling now, I guess.
We can go through them in turn. I'll just call them out.
Okay.
First watch, and you guys remember your scores. But feel free to roll your dice. I wasn't saying don't roll.
Wonder why I didn't put my nature check over here. That's weird. Nature.
Nature check?
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Some solid rolls. right, so first watch is it
Tyrus,
Tyrus
I
and
guess by herself,
20.
unless anybody.
Any
Yeah,
I'm
20.
asleep.
anybody else
Anyone else?
awake right now, or everybody else sleeping?
Is this first watch?
Yep.
First
Mhm.
watch.
Fuck it. Belsay's feeling fine. He'll be up for it.
Okay.
What
I'll
am I
say
rolling?
you're rolling perception and nature.
Ooh, I'm terrible at both of these.
Perfect.
You get to add them, fortunately.
Probably for the best. Wow, great rolls though. Never mind. I'm
Yeah, you
fantastic.
guys are all rolling pretty well. Well, fortunately, all of you are going to pass this check, so all of you are going to see something relatively cool. In your case, Tyrus, you don't see something per se, but your observation of the forest and the surrounding peaceful noises that have begun to be rhythmic, soft crickets chirping, and an owl hooting in the distance, and the sound of the trees whining and groaning as the wind softly kisses them. You hear something that stands out in the distance. It's like a soft clopping noise. Sounds almost like hooves. You're not sure what it is, but it sounds like it could be a horse.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that, Belsay?
What? Do I?
Listen,
Wait.
So,
I think I hear something.
sounds like a riding horse. Who would be traveling through these woods at night?
We are safe, or so I'm told. So,
From the
perhaps
creatures of the forest that the Ents have sway over, perhaps.
I trust in their judgment to protect us. So, I say, while we won't aggravate whomever comes about, perhaps we take a step back, hide, if you will, and watch. Where is the sound coming from? Like, is it coming from like this direction?
It sounds like a creature is like moving back and forth. And the sound isn't like threatening. It's peaceful. It stands out amongst the calm of the forest itself at night. Rhythmic clapping, but sounds like
Where's
a
it?
creature roaming back and forth, almost like it's running along the road you guys came along.
Okay, that answers my question.
I mean, I would think we would be
I-
watching along the road, right? Like here-ish, maybe behind this rock or something.
Yeah, I think we would probably be posted up somewhere that makes sense like that.
As you try and get a good look at the road from your vantage point, you can see a good distance down the road, even in the darkness, some 60, 70 feet. You see no signs of a rider or a horse or a beast of any kind for that matter.
Where is the rider?
But you hear this phantom-like clopping off in the distance still. You start to
That's
get the feeling
curious
almost
indeed.
like it's playing with you.
Care to go? Take a look, Tyrus. I am, admittedly, a little intrigued.
I am as well. Perhaps we should look.
Which way up the road is it? That way or this way?
The same direction that you guys came in from.
Okay.
Oh,
kinda-
Backtracking.
Okay. So then
As
I
you
would
walk.
try to stick to the tree line and kind of be stealthy, not on the road.
Okay.
I'll say not necessarily one for subtlety, as well as being just genuinely fucking awful at any level of stealth. He'll probably just walk in the road. If I'm getting a sense that it's not a malevolent entity of any kind, I'll make myself known.
Well, roll
Again, trusting in the ents.
roll an insight check for me, and Tierce for me roll a stealth check. So we'll see how hidden you are, and also you're right out in the open, trying to get a sense for
Me?
if indeed you feel that it's not threatening towards you, and you do feel that way. You get that sense coming off whatever it is, that it's not intending to do you harm. And Tyrus, you're well hidden in the bushes. Nothing on the road would be able to see you, and the trees are thick in the forest, so most of anything that may be lurking within the tree line, you'll basically see it when it sees you. Beware.
Tyrus, I believe you need not worry about stealth. It is a friendly entity, whatever it may be.
All the same.
All right. Do your thing, I suppose.
As you,
And
as you pass by Ignis, you hear large snores from the massive beast sleeping quietly
oh yeah.
half underneath a rock slab.
Nice.
And you begin to walk past where you met the Ents, and they remain not rooted, but seemingly so, where they're at.
Are they asleep or are they up?
They,
You named it Father Elk and Father Elf. That's awesome.
I love it.
they,
Nice.
they kindly greet you good evening as you walk past. And Father Velm says, "What are you doing wandering the roads at night?"
Sorry, you're really quiet. Can you repeat that?
What were you doing wandering the roads at night?
Wondering what else is wandering the roads at night?
Heard that, did you? In It is mysterious creature. Come here sometime after the morn, on that fateful day when we lost Cyre, he says sadly, almost as if he may have been there before, or perhaps be from there. Saying we lost Cyre.
Most intriguing?
Perhaps we will go take a look and see if we can unveil some of this mystery.
You're careful and smart to keep yourself hidden, little one. He looks down at you, Tyrus. It doesn't take kindly to strangers, seemingly. Hasn't harmed anything in these woods, but I fear it was raised by malevolent forces and come from an evil place, albeit an innocent creature. He says sadly, shaking his head, as though this greatly troubles him, the pains of an innocent creature drawn into the turmoil of, well, the other living beings that populate Eberron.
A look of pain passes over Belsay's face, and he just kind of says quietly, "Perhaps it simply needs a friend it does not know it has yet."
Perhaps
Tyrus
you
raises
are
an eyebrow,
correct.
and would that be you?
Or you. Who knows? We will find out if you are willing to accompany me.
You are full of mystery, but I am incredibly curious.
Indeed. Shall we, my friend? Keeps on walking. Gives a slight bow to the Ents as he passes.
Hey,
The trees swish quietly in the soft wind around you. And ahead of you, you see it's beginning to pick up a small bit of rain.
do we still hear the creature on the road?
Basically constant, but seemingly keeping a 100 to 200 foot distance away from you based on the sound of it.
Okay, so it's constantly moving at a consistent distance from us as we walk.
Mhm.
And do I?
It did say the fathers did say that it did not like strangers. Perhaps you have frightened it off.
Shall not know yet until I try.
It does seem as you move towards the sound of the beast that grows fainter. And while you take caution to be quiet, keep yourself hidden,
So, is it still staying seemingly along the path?
it's almost though the noise is coming through like a wind tunnel that is the path. There's these great tall trees surrounding this tiny little tunnel of a clearing. It sounds like it could be, off in the distance in that pasture even.
Could I use divine sense? One of my divine senses to see if I detect any good and evil within 60 feet, and whether or not it's like a celestial fiend, undead, or something that would be picked up by Hallow.
Absolutely. And you said that's 60 feet, right?
So, I guess from where I'm at, pretty much the entire lay of the land for this map, anyway.
Just trying to see. I know that it's definitely
Yeah, it's about.
it's a good creature, though it may be a a bit of an oxymoron.
There.
IRL when you discover what it is. but bear with me. And it also, I'm trying to figure this out. I believe it is undead. I'll have to confirm that. But I believe it is
Oh.
undead as well.
Okay. So it seems like the wind in this quote unquote wind tunnel kind of carrying sound potentially.
Yeah, and basically you know that the horse is in, or oh boy, the sound that sounds like a horse is in that general direction.
Don't worry. I'm going to burn my channel divinity for Emissary of Peace. So it gives me a +5 bonus to persuasion checks, charisma persuasion checks for the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm going to, let's see. I got a sense that it was good, but not necessarily what race or state of living, I guess. Like whether it's alive or dead or something.
It is not undead. It is alive.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out some rations, lay them out on the ground.
What kind of
Maybe a good
rations?
5 feet away from me. As a vegetarian,
Oh,
I would think it would be dried beets, various roots. I don't know what other things vegetarians eat, but tofu, maybe.
Tofu's very good. I'm not even a vegetarian. I eat it.
Tofu's really good, but probably various like dried beets, roots.
Any meat?
Know your diet, bro.
No meat,
Okay.
probably. And he'll lay it out in front of himself and kind of sit cross-legged in the middle of the road, and he'll call out, not loudly, but assuming wind is picking up sound, perhaps my voice will carry with the wind. And he'll just kind of say quietly, "You have nothing to fear. Please come out. I simply wish to share in a meal with a new friend." And he's trying his best to be calm, inviting, sounding, and everything like that. So,
And immediately upon speaking, you're not sure if it's the sound of your voice that dampens the sound of the clopping of what could be hooves. You stop hearing it, and Tyrus, you stop hearing it as well. And after you're done saying your piece to the wind, you don't hear it at all. You stand there for maybe 60 seconds, waiting, anticipating. Nothing. Not a sound.
a couple more minutes, and then if nothing appears, kind of glance at. Well, I guess I wouldn't know if would I know where Tyrus is?
Yeah,
Little-
she's
yeah.
making herself known to you well enough.
All right. He'll kind of glance your direction and shrug.
If it is a wild creature, perhaps it is simply frightened.
Perhaps. Regardless, I will leave this ration out, if it is so inclined. Shall we go back and wake the others for their watch?
Yes, I believe that's wise. I do not know there's anything else to accomplish here.
Nah. Make our way back.
Making our way.
As you guys make your way back to the camp, you find nothing changed and all is calm, all is well at the camp.
All right. Who was next on? I mean, unless Tyrus had anything else she wanted to to do?
Right now.
Wake up whoever's next for watch and lay down.
In the transition between the two watches, do you happen to pass the information along from what you heard or saw in the night?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It did not seem to be threatening, but do be on guard.
Oh, and I left some food on the trail. Just in case. Good night.
Indeed.
Who's on second watch with Tyrus?
Is that Rock?
Is on third and
I'm not
fourth.
on third and fourth.
Oh, got it.
So that means it's Tyrus and
Tyrus and Belsay were
Liran-
first.
Liran Athael. Yeah?
I am asleep already, or tranced for the first two.
I can keep watch on my own at this fight. So I'll keep watch for another 2 hours on my own then. It's fine. And then I'll wake up Rock and I suppose Liren will wake on her own.
Mm-hmm.
And pass on what we learned about the creature.
Actually, we're not even really sleeping. We're just conscious in trance.
It's creepy.
Elves are creepy.
Yeah, there they are.
Also, Belsay seems to have night terrors. Don't let him keep his weapon within reach.
Keep mine within.
Good morning then.
All right.
So we.
Right.
So
Rock and Lyra are awake.
there you go. There you go.
Total check 46.
And mine was 31.
All right.
Damn.
You guys get the information passed along from Tyrus, and she explains, they heard what they think might have been perhaps a horse or a large hoofed beast running freely back and forth, almost luring them out. But every time they approached, the noise grew more distant, more faint. And Belsay had left some food behind to try and lure the creature out. And, perhaps mentioned it might be worth checking on while you're up and about in the watch.
Fascinating.
I will take a look. See, I don't remember where that was.
It's down the road.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I'll lead you with cool big arrows.
I will fall off this tent here.
No.
And as you walk
Okay,
past
I was
the
doing
Ents,
this.
they give you a warm greeting, much the same as they did Tyrus and Belsay.
I will greet them in Elvish.
Take caution out looking for the sound of that creature like your friends were, are you?
I believe that is true, yes.
Any creature of the moorlands seems interesting for study.
This is a creature out of the moorlands, but certainly not of them. No, I believe creatures like that come from Kyber. What
Ooh.
is that they call those beasts again? Father of Oak says to Father of Elm. And he simply shakes his head, lacking the memory.
Creatures of the Underdark. I find myself even more intrigued.
Your friend put out some bait, I think, for it. But didn't seem much to like it. And he points over at the middle of the road where there's a small pile of what looks to be a medium-sized portion of rations, various roots and vegetables. And one of
Like about
them,
here.
yep, that's about right. One of them is a carrot that looks to have been put inside of something's mouth and regurgitated thereafter.
Oh no.
Oh man, now I feel bad.
I'll actually,
Are there any tracks around in the dirt?
Absolutely. You see a set of what looks to be 4 hoof prints, tracks of 4 hoof prints making their way across the bridge to the point where the rations were, then leading back across the bridge in the direction that it came.
I will go to the place. Actually, no, I have something. I'll take some of the food that I have for the snake, like the dead mice and such, and I'll place it just ahead of Belsay's offering.
Several feet ahead, you place the remains of what the goblins may have been feeding to, well, the snake, perhaps, or perhaps just other rats. They do that sometimes to grow them large and grotesque.
Fun. And I'd like to hide out behind that rock.
Okay. So for the remainder of the watch, you're
If you're going to watch here, I'm going to watch the camp.
take a position behind that rock, and almost towards the end of what would be the first part of your first shift, you begin to give up hope. But then you hear it in the distance, the soft clopping of hoof prints. And approaching, you see one of the most beautiful and terrifying creatures you may ever have seen. A horse with flames upon its hooves, flames upon its tail, and flames in its eyes. Its mane, sheer black dark ember. In its path, you see its hoof prints, small plumes of smoke dissipate slowly from where they once were. Almost as if those hooves are ablaze.
And what are you?
You see it arch down its neck at your offering and sniff a couple times. Then it quickly picks up one of the rats in its mouth and almost without chewing, gulps it down. It takes a few moments, cautiously and carefully, eating the meal that you've left for it. And it simply looks around, in both directions, stops for a minute in the opposite direction that you're facing, looking off in the distance. And in this portrait view you have of it, you see the creature is very beautiful, but terrifying to think what riding it might be like, as its coat seems to glow with almost a molten sheen.
Can I find out?
It stands stationary at the moment, not looking at you at all. You have it flanked. You have
I
it.
would like to use my teleport to teleport onto its back.
Oh, what a greeting.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there.
That's some next level stuff
Yep.
right there.
Get
go-
myself
let's go
built
hard.
right now.
Game so hard.
All right. You're gonna teleport directly onto its back or over its back, trying to basically land on it and
Essentially.
mount it. Now you do see that it has no, bridle or saddle or anything like that.
We'll do something about that. Don't worry about that.
And as you do this, you land quickly on the horse, vanishing from where you were and instantly reappearing just above the horse. And immediately the horse rears up on its back legs. Make a strength check to try and hang on.
Dirty 20.
Oh, very nice. All right, you hang on for dear life as the horse rears back onto its back hind legs, and then as it regains all four legs on the ground, it takes off. And roll athletics.
18.
You hang on, and anybody that would be watching in these woods, and if trees had eyes, and some do in these woods, remember, but you would see rocks streaking through the forest, a trail of fire blazing behind him as this horse just beats it down the path, headed for the open pasture closer to where the train station was. And
Easy.
rock roll animal handling.
8. No.
Oh no.
Well, it's a good thing somebody went with Rock. I can't wait to meet your new character.
Oh yeah. This is fun.
It bucks again. Roll strength.
No, 7.
Yeah, it checks out.
You fly off the horse. And you crash to the ground. Roll a d6.
Second here. 5.
And you take 5 bludgeoning damage as you crash to the ground, flat on your back.
That tracks.
That super tracks.
And the horse gallops off, slowing its pace, finally calming and following your commands. And almost as if it's taunting you, turns back, looks at you, and gives a and while what you see before you looks to be what you know, Rock, I'll say, from your knowledge of nature and beasts, to be a nightmare, a Kyberian nightmare specifically, spawned from Kyber, possibly the mount of some evil creature dwelling underneath the surface. This creature seems to have a gentle quality to it, although didn't display it while you wrote it.
Fair.
And it looks peacefully at you as it bends its head down and sniffs at some of the grass at its feet.
I will reach into my robe and I will pull off a patch, and I will say, "Is it meat you prefer?" And I will throw at him. And sorry, no animals were harmed in the making of this D&D game. I will toss a mastiff at him.
Oh my god.
What?
My
A whole
gosh.
mastiff? A
What?
A
whole
whole
mastiff?
mastiff.
Where the fuck
Oh.
did you get that?
Horses
Where
don't eat
did I get
mastiffs.
that?
Mastiffs eat
Yeah,
horses.
I will literally just throw a mastiff at him.
Threw a dog at a horse.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't sound like an attack at all.
Sort of tracks. Actually, sort of tracks. So yeah.
Does the mastiff have any exposed like flesh? Does it have any like blood or guts or anything like that
Tossed
hanging
across
out?
the
No, it's just a live dog.
Oh man,
Oh
live
my
dog.
god.
from
Have
the.
you-
Oh, you've got the robe
Yeah.
of your slime.
Oh.
If it's just a live dog, I'm gonna say that the horse is immediately a bit taken aback by it right away. Another
Oh,
animal.
so it doesn't kill its own food. Okay. I believe the mastiffs follow my commands. Let me double check that.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Wow.
There's a mastiff out that doesn't follow your commands.
Oh, I
He's-
hope so. That's so funny.
Got
It
my
does
work.
not say. It just says I have 2 mastiffs.
Well, I'd say they'd listen to you.
Oh my god.
Playfake.
You're gonna sacrifice your fucking dog?
It's not my dog. It's a magic dog from Magic Land. I don't know where they come from. I just have them. Okay. Oh, they're not even summoned animals. They're real dogs. These aren't
Yes.
conjured dogs.
Yeah.
They're just dogs.
Exactly.
Rock will whistle for the dog to heal. It doesn't look interested in the dog at all.
Doesn't seem to be interested in eating it, that's for sure. It seems apprehensive about approaching it. And if the dog goes anywhere near it, it'll definitely retreat immediately.
No, the dog will. I'll whistle for the dog to heal, and to come back.
It kind of wickers a little bit, the horse, nervously, as the dog gets near, but as it moves back towards you, the horse seems to
How
understand
fast-
that it listens to you.
How fast do I think that this horse can move?
Judging of
Based on what I was.
0 to 60, and oh man, it's fast. It's very fast. If I had to put a top speed on the horse, I'd probably say 40 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour.
Ow.
How many feet is that per 6 seconds? I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see if I can keep up with it.
Oh, okay.
If I do something.
Is it 45 miles per hour?
Yep.
That's 66 feet per second.
Okay, so 66 feet per second. Is 360 feet per round.
Holy fucking shit.
Okay, I cannot keep up with it quite.
I was told there would be no
Well,
math.
360 feet per round, just to get real
were
mathy,
lied to.
is technically 360 divided by 6, isn't it? Because it's 6 seconds per round.
Yeah, it's 60
A
seconds.
turn.
It's 66 seconds per. It's 66 feet per second per round.
Right, so in 6
So-
seconds,
so
it's...
it burns you by 6 feet.
Okay,
If I
so-
did my math right, every second, and gains.
No, my walking speed is only 30 feet,
Oh,
so
then you're
I only
screwed.
move 30 feet per 6 seconds. I have a few ways to make myself a lot faster, but I cannot get that fast. I'll toss it another rat.
You see that it at first apprehensive again, like it was towards the sight of the dog. Then it approaches the rat, recognizing the treat from before and gulps it right up.
Now, stick with me. There's more where that came from.
Go ahead and roll animal handling.
13. So average.
Would he have advantage because of rats?
Because it really likes those rats.
Yeah.
Oh, does it? Oh.
Gourmet rat.
It seems to, and it seems like maybe it's not a part of its normal dietary function based off how it approached them the first time you saw it. Go ahead, roll advantage. You got some good advocates out there. Oh,
12.
Oh,
you just hear the horse after it eats its small little meal you provide it, but it remains some 40, 50 feet away from you, eyeing you cautiously.
I will give it a bow. I don't have the necklace that we took, so I don't really have anything else here. So I will.
After a short
I
period
tried
of
to reach out.
time, the horse walks forward about 5 or 10 feet. About 3 feet at a time.
I will
And
also gently step forward 5 to 10 feet.
it makes that sound again. You're not sure what it means, but it made it each time you fed it.
Does it sound like a language?
It sounds more like a horse just, blowing raspberries, really.
Oh, wickering at me?
Mhm.
Okay. Um. What do you eat? I'll toss it like some dried meat from my rations.
And almost as it did before the rat, it cautiously smells them, and it closes the distance between you and the meat to get to the meat. And it remains there after gulping up the small salted meat that you provided it.
So it definitely eats meat. I will reach into my bag and I'll pull out one of the flame mandibles that I took from the spiders.
Never let this man have a real pet.
No kidding.
Keep
Gotta
kicking
figure
it
out
up a
what it is.
notch. Kicking it up another notch. I like it.
I'm gonna place it right down in front of me. Does the face of this horse look like it's on fire?
Its eyes certainly do, and its nostrils do. Within its nostrils, you can see like glowing embers, like maybe the insides of the horse are aflame. But it closes the distance between you and the item you've placed right in front of you, thinking it's food as well, and obviously
Be
hungry.
careful. This one is spicy. I'd be careful with this one.
I see.
And it bends its head down like it did over near the grass, sniffs down at the mandible, and lets out a disapproving neigh.
It's a day.
Fair. Nay to the spider mandible. I will hold out my hand with another rat, and I will put my other hand gently on its snout.
All right. Final animal handling check.
Another 13. This is just super average.
The horse doesn't shy away. You place your hand on it, and you don't feel a burning sensation when you touch it, but instead a comforting warmth. And much like other horses you may have seen, it's peaceful and innocent, and though its eyes blaze with a passionate and furious blaze, you don't sense anything off about this creature. Think maybe they're misunderstood.
Like so many creatures.
Many people consider nightmares to be evil because of where they come from. The Underdark is not home to many of of good virtue. Put it that way.
Okay. I will turn and I will walk alongside it slowly. And I will pat it on the flank gently and attempt to climb on.
All right. Let's see here. $13, $12, and a 13. You reach around and you grab a scruff of hair that's on the back of its mane and use it to pull yourself up. And the horse at first neighs loudly and begins to rear up, lifting its front feet maybe 1 or 2 inches off the ground before it calms itself.
Good girl? Not sure. I did not check that.
Forgot to check.
Did not check that.
It's a girl.
I will gently direct it down the path back towards the ends.
And you slowly clop backwards towards the camp with a new steed. And as you pass by the Ents, found it, you did. And befriended it would seem as well. Perhaps it can pull one of those carts for you.
Rock bows to the fathers, and he will say, "Not all of the darkness is to be feared. But without darkness, there is no light."
You are wise, young one, he says to you, some 750 years old.
I am a child. I am only 95.
And you bid them farewell, or he bids you farewell as you make your way back towards the camp. And anybody who's rousing around this time, it would be towards the end of, I would say, your second shift. So this would be end of fourth 2-hour shift we were taking?
Yep.
And Lyra actually came back and took watch while Rock ran off, and he got the cool thing. She'll come out from one of the bushes she was hiding in, keeping watch. Rock, what is that? Did you just... make a friend, it seems.
It seems so. And he will look up at the horse after dismounting, and he will look at Lyra like, I'm not sure how this happened.
Um, Lyra, while you were back at the camp, you were sitting there observing, keeping watch.
Trying to stay hidden while I watched you.
And from your place in the quiet of the trees there, you thought you heard in the distance what sounded like horns. And a faint drum, even. Brum, 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 brum.
It's poorly. Um, where are we keeping the goblin tied up and restrained? I don't see him here anywhere.
Oh, crap. I killed
He's
all the
dead.
goblins. Sorry, I didn't like him. He was talking bad about you guys while you were gone, so I had to get him out of there.
Oh, well.
Absurd.
He's tied up restrained, and Lyra will take her staff and kind of poke him with it a few times. You there. Do you recognize that horn? Those drums?
I'd recognize them anywhere. Those are
Is that...
goblin raiding parties.
Ah, 'tis what I was afraid of.
You should be. Their numbers grow in the thousands out here in the Midlands. Some 5 or 6 warriors. There'll be nothing, no challenge to a size like that. I can tell you honestly, you caught us by surprise here, and met some of the most inexperienced of the lot. Drunken at that. Won't be so easy next time.
And are these drums and horns sounding to signal some specific movement or pattern?
Keen you are. Luckily for you, you have me. That's exactly what they are. They tell the other war parties where they're at in the night time. They communicate with the drums and the horns, telling each other where they are at all times.
All right. Well,
I can lead you on a safe path to Cyre, but in order to outrun raiding parties, we'll need some kind of transportation.
It's going to be difficult to find out here. All we've got is this one wagon here and nothing to pull it with. Little do I know. Well, congratulations. You're going to get to prove your worth after all.
Oh, there's also a dog, because the dog doesn't go.
So
Just
we'll have a
there
dog,
now?
a small little dog sled now. So now we've got another mouth to feed. That's awesome.
Oh no.
I'll worry about that. Sorry. I'm collecting pets again.
Well, it's about time to wake the others anyway. And I guess this is about the time that I start waking the others, and Rock walks in with his menagerie.
Name to be decided.
Rock, is this the creature that was heard?
I saw no other.
She's beautiful. What's your name? Lyra's going to walk up carefully, slowly, and calmly to the nightmare. Have you a name?
Rock will gently put his hand on the nightmare's shoulder just to calm it.
Are you speaking to it in common, Lyra, or are you trying to communicate with it through some other means?
It's common, but it's a little hoarse.
All right,
Oh,
I'll
that's
see
a
myself.
Moni.
Yeah, the door's over there, John.
You know the bad jokes are my job.
It's true. It's true. It's true. I usurped your role. Sorry.
You did.
John, you're gonna need to pony up and pay us for that joke. So.
Hey, we've got to stop these unbridled jokes.
Guys, stop horsing around. This is serious.
Nay, man.
Anyway, Lyra will start in common and go through some of the other languages she has. Just some of them. Let's see. One sounding very first Elvish because that's her native tongue. Have you a name? Switching to Sylvan. What is your name? And then something a little bit more dark with a more guttural sound as she switches to Infernal. What might your name be?
Immediately upon speaking in the infernal tongue, her eyes flare up, but she doesn't respond vocally. You can see in her eyes that she recognizes what you say, though. You know it.
I say over truck. She is a keen one. But actually, let's wake the others. I have thoughts that we have someone here that will have some more to say about this. And with that, she's going to walk over and tap on Solitude's tent with her staff. Just a tap, tap, tap.
A light dusting of frost descends from inside the tent. She wakes up. It's time for my watch already. So be it.
Yes, come on out. We need you to watch.
Has anything interesting happened this evening?
You could say that.
Oh, what is that? She looks at the flaming horse. Her eyes open wide. Is it an attacker or is it a friendly beast? It appears to be friendly, but will someone fill me in on what is going on? You're quiet here. There's a flaming horse in the middle of camp.
Sure, but
Stay calm.
not sure what it eats, so keep your hands away from the flaming mouth. We'll work on that.
Certainly. Okay. So I have always known the horses to eat the apples, the fruits. I don't know if flaming horses do the same
Like
thing,
food.
but
I don't think it had any interest in vegetables or fruits.
Oh my god, the horse is walking. That's awesome.
I know, that's really cool.
Do not carry horse food.
Dead rats and jerky seem to work so far. Not sure if that's gonna work forever.
Well, then,
The horse seems
we
to
may
like
need-
the flame as it stands very close to the fire, walking around it, and resting at a
Doesn't, like,
point,
eat
warming
it, does it?
itself.
Oh, dude.
No,
Oui, Liron Ethel, what is it?
And she will switch to Infernal. Being of your type, I assume you speak this tongue.
Oui, je parle les infernal. She
Is it-
has an accent on her infernal as
Accents in
well.
your first
Really?
language too.
Oh gosh.
the nightmare
it's gotta be
turns
like-
its head towards the sound of the infernal.
Bonne
Yeah.
nuit.
She seems to be familiar with the infernal tongue.
I'll saunter over. Bonne nuit. Parlez-vous les infernal? Do you speak my language, beautiful steed? Hmm?
And she lets out a very large snort in response.
Comment appelez-vous? Your name? What is it? Can you speak?
And while the being, seems to regard you with intelligence each time you speak in the infernal tongue, it doesn't seem to be able to respond. At least,
Nod your head up and down if you understand what I say. Hmm?
and in the way well-trained horses do, this beautiful nightmare creature slowly lifts and bows its head.
Give it a hug.
Look here, it does understand. It cannot speak, but I just asked it to nod its head, and look, it responds in accordance with these instructions. This is a fascinating beast. And it will listen to those of us that speak its language. Je m'appelle Solitude. Excusez-moi. Je m'appelle Solitude. I am at your service. Mademoiselle Flaming Steed. Do you eat the fruits? Nod your head up and down if so. What? I ask it if it eats fruit and to nod its head up and down if so.
And rather than complying with your order, you hear another large snort. This one sounding much more belligerent than the last one.
Okay, no papa le fruit. Okay, that's correct. Do you eat the plants, grasses? Oui. Nod up and down if yes. Do your interesting snort if no.
We've already established that. Oop, that's not me. That's the goblin. She prefers a more carnivorous diet.
Dungeon Master, are the rest of us up and about by this
Yeah,
point?
we would have, or
Okay.
yeah, I'll
Yeah,
start poking around people.
this should be the time where you would have been rising from your
Long.
wonderful long
rest.
rest.
Wonderful.
A meat-eating horse. Excusez-moi. Could you show me your teeth if it is not too much trouble? I have never seen a horse with meat-eating teeth before. It seems quite fascinating.
And you see the horse like stamp both of its feet in place where it's at, kind of like nervously pacing in place, as it doesn't back away from you, but slowly cranes its neck flat, extending its head towards you so you can examine its teeth.
Okay, I kind of look, get down a little bit, take a peek.
It peels back its lips for you gently as you begin to examine the inside of its teeth, and you see that inside the mouth is like an oven. There's a massive amount of heat coming out of it, and the teeth are like normal teeth, but instead of being pearly white, each of them are a beautiful shade of orange, blazing and glowing with what looks to be some kind of very, very hot surface. And
It is like this horse has a charcoal grill in its mouth. It cooks its food and eats it just by munching. The most fascinating. Who claims this beast? Did she just walk up in here and start chowing down, or did someone manage
No.
to tame?
She is her own, I do believe. Rock is the one who escorted her to our camp, though.
I do not
Well-
claim ownership over any creature, wild or not.
Well done, Mr. Rock, particularly since we have a, what did they say, 100-mile travel ahead of us? I do not know if she will be willing to carry the burden of a cart, but perhaps if we treat her with courtesy, common courtesy, she will. I see no other options, but it is my. This is all wonderful, but I probably should keep a watch while everyone else is up. Do we want to just get going during the wee hours of the morning?
Well, seeing as we are all awake, perhaps it is best we move on. Also, good morning.
And
you
also,
enjoy- Oh, sorry.
I should let you know that there were some war horns and war drums, and our goblin friend here said that he would be kind enough to help us avoid the other roaming goblin bands.
Excusez-moi, you said there are the garden war party nearby?
Ranging in the numbers of thousands.
Aren't you? Then we have no time to waste. I carry pack very light. I already have my stuff. It is on my person. Everyone else, let us get going. The Goblin War Party is nearby. We do not want to face them. And she'll turn to the horse. I will think of a name for you. Do you have a name? Do you have a name? If so, nod yes, up, down. If you already have a name.
and you see the horse nod.
Oh dear, the horse has a name. It's up to us to figure out, I suppose. S'il vous plaît, Mademoiselle Orsi, would you perhaps be willing to help us get out of here rather quickly? There is a big party of small, fanged creatures approaching us, and we should not be here when they arrive. Could you perhaps assist us? We will give you food and protection if you perhaps pull us along on one of these carts over here. I point at one of the carts, trying to be very persuasive to the horse.
It would be most appreciated, indeed, if you would aid us, fine creature of flame.
You speak this in common as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I was speaking infernal, but my voice was high. Sorry, I forgot.
That's all right.
I'm still working on my infernal accent. Okay.
The softness of your voice, I'll say, the horse kind of cranes its neck, looks at you, cranes back, looks at Solitude, then looks to its left at its friend Rock, and slowly walks over, bends its head all the way down, and does that thing that horses do when they're seeking affection, kind of pushes his head underneath Rock's arm.
I will rub it between the ears and
And it seems you would have your answer, Solitude.
We have had a stroke of luck. The horse, she will assist us. So let us get one of these carts up and running, and we can get out of here most quickly. Grab your things and Where is our goblin guide?
If I look through the tents, is there any like kind of like riding gear, bridles, anything like that, or were they just pulling the carts themselves?
Tiris will definitely be helping get the cart up and ready with mending anything that needs mending and all of
I'll
that.
and Belse will pull the cart physically if need be to help hook it up as the strongest party member
Possibly.
physically.
There's
Yeah.
I believe you are.
definitely enough of you to lift the cart up, as well as to answer your question. There's several saddles, bridles, things of that nature to attach one of the carts to a horse or several horses if need be.
Horse that's constantly on fire.
I do have a helpful solution for the horse that is on fire. I will reach into my cloak, into my robe again, and I will pull something else off. I'm really burning through this. I'll pull off a patch and set it down and back away, and a riding horse in full tack will appear.
Oh,
Why did you not mention this before when we were debating on how to pull the cart? Rock.
I wasn't sure if we'd need it.
Um,
While they're chatting, I am going to. Have you seen Breaking Bad, Gannicus?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'm going to run down the just like they did with Uncle Tio. I'm going to run down the sounds like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but infernal with the horse to slowly peck out its name, letter by letter.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, smart. All right.
I'm gonna say it takes a couple of turns going through and trying before the beast understands what you're trying to do. But
Mm-hmm.
the first indication that it gives you is that the letter F.
All right, her name begins with F. 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 It sounds like a F in infernal, but it's coming up, so I'm working on it. Everyone else assembles the gear. I am up to a very important task here.
It's the second go around. You almost think that this is a useless task as you get to the end of the alphabet, but then the horse responds when you say Y.
Oh, I hope it's fire.
Okay, all right, so we are making a progress. Okay, third letter A, B, C, D, F. Good. And I go through that one.
As you roll through the third time around, you land on R.
All right, I think I know where this is going, but I shall continue nevertheless. Okay, letter 4. Cat. I keep going.
If you put your money in the E square, you unfortunately lost your bet, folks, because
Okay.
you reach the I's, and the horse lets out another wicker. So we have F, Y, R, I.
You are full of the surprise. We, Madame Chaval.
And
And I'll start again with the A and keep going.
and as before with the Y, you seem discouraged as you make it to the end of the alphabet. Fiery, what kind of a name is that? And as you say X, Beast responds.
Has lots of letters that are. It has lots of letters that are late in the alphabet, taking longer than I expected, but I shall continue.
Do you repeat these letters at any point as you've
I will repeat.
formulated them?
I'll spell it. Yeah. So you are telling me Felix so far, Firix. Oui, Madame Cheval.
As soon as the name leaves your lips, a proud and happy neigh comes out of Pyrix.
Is that other? Okay, the else's name is Pyrix. Huh? Infernal, you say it Pyrix. Like that. See, it's the same, but did I get it right, Dungeon Master?
Absolutely.
Enchanté, Madame Pyrix. And I do a little curtsy.
There's no such thing
Is
as
everyone ready?
mispronouncing cities or beasts, by the way. It's just making new lore.
I'm about it.
Pyrix.
You're making towers.
All right, are we all packed up?
In the time that it took for you to do that, I'm sure we are.
Yes.
Probably are. We're
Everyone's
actually
like
probably
standing there,
already left.
arms crossed, looking at me. This is important. It establishes a rapport with the beast, oui?
I totally
I
agree.
will saddle up and bridle up Pyrix.
Oh, no,
Pyrrhus will-
lower in the throat, the rock of Pyrix. Try again.
Pyrix.
Lower in throats?
Pyrrhus is driving.
Oh, shit, I have to get in the cart. And I just hop in the cart.
Can we all fit?
Lyra's gonna walk.
Assume
I
this
thought
dog.
you said we needed to make haste.
Oh, that's true. Do you happen to have those discs that you had before? If
Of
we cannot
course.
all fit, we could ride behind on one of those.
Of course.
Why are there two rocks?
Mm.
Oh,
It's two rocks. and two fire.
So we've got a riding horse. Is the riding horse pulling the cart? Is that right?
Yes, the riding horse
Okay.
will pull the cart. If we need two horses to pull the cart, Pyrix will assist.
Okay. So I'm on the cart. Who else is in the cart with Solitude?
I assume Baron DeGalanta.
Pyrrhus is driving.
Oh,
do we
I
know-
certainly won't be walking. I'm paying for this expedition, don't I?
Indeed.
Where did the Baron go?
Eventually.
Go. I misplaced the token.
I'm here
How much does Ignis weigh?
hiding in the cart.
We know.
Ignis is probably about 500, 600 pounds.
Okay, the tensor floating discs have a
Too
limit of
much for
500
a-
pounds,
yeah.
so
I'll ride the disc if you want. I'm a pretty big guy, so
I will ritually cast a disc that will travel behind me.
I can keep pace with the beast, says Ignis.
Oh,
And in response to this, the horse lets out a snort.
regardless of the fact maybe the minis don't quite fit on the cart, do we all fit roughly?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cart is large enough. You select one of the ones that's large enough to fit 7 or 8 passengers. Unfortunately, poor Ignis will have to walk outside as he takes up 3 or 4 passenger spots. But he has the dog as a companion.
yeah. We got a mastiff.
And Baron Yoren pulls out of his pack what looks like a rough map, and he rolls it out in front of all of you. I'll throw this in the chat real quick. You guys probably have seen this before.
Oh, I fell off the wagon, guys.
It happens.
I'm back on the wagon.
Solitude
What?
is dead.
That's not something to be proud of, buddy.
Well, you know, she's got that little thing she pinches and snorts. So yeah, she's
Yeah.
falls off the wagon a lot.
Oh god.
She takes a quick puff of her. What am I gonna call that stuff? Flame snuff. I'll
Crack.
call it flame snuff until I have a better name.
I like
Oh my goodness.
Corvaricane.
Yeah.
Hurricane.
No.
I'm making up D&D drug. This is not good.
Oh no.
So you guys have just made it out of the faded forest, if you head out the path that you came in on, basically, in the direction that you were headed, and as you make your way out of the forest, you see similar totems to that which you saw on your way in. Beautiful bear heads shaped into oak and wood totems, and they have these blue markings on them.
Oh, shit. Dungeon Master. Check your message before the last message I sent you.
The message before the message. It's like the shirt before the shirt. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's my bad. Are you riding in the cart?
I'm in the cart, yes.
As long as you're behind, I think that's okay.
Okay.
What?
I don't know. Do you think Felix would have reacted?
I'm gonna say this may have reacted differently than something else may have, because of its nature and its origin. We'll say. Does that make sense?
Right.
I'm gonna send you a message real quick.
Everyone else ignore what's happening.
We don't know this is going.
Council will please disregard. The jury will disregard the last statement. Strike it from the record.
You ride along generally peacefully along the roads in the forest, and as promised, seems the Father of Elm and Father Voke were able to spread the word fast enough. Nothing bothers you on your way. Like I said, as you make your way out of the forest and into a clearing, you see these large totems. And I don't know if he said this before, so if he did, just tell him, hey, you told us this story already. But Yorin begins to tell you what those bears symbolize. He says that New Cyre has taken the mark of the bear since rumors and stories of the young prince fighting off two massive, tainted, evil bears that were cursed by the mists of the Mournlands. And Prince Oargev led his people as a young man, some 22, 23 years old, out of chaos, out of a war zone, out of a land that had been corrupted by evil and dark magic and a massive, unexplained cataclysm that occurred, wiping out half of its population in a single instant. And he was able to keep a few citizens alive, and from that gained a following from more survivors who made it out on their own. And this small band of people formed together to become the New Cyre encampment, those who had a dream to rebuild that which was once the crown jewel of Galifar, Cyre, Metral, the beautiful city, and its towers to match that of Sharn, now reduced to nothing but rubble. Well, there's nothing more that burns in the heart of Cyrans to regain that what was lost, their home, their homeland. They want to return back, but the lands are tainted now. And these bears, they mark the struggle the people of New Cyre face, and the bravery of their new leader, the son of the queen, Prince Oargev Irwinarn. I'm just gonna post that in the chat too. Sometimes I say these names and I don't spell them. And that helps to give you a reference, right?
It does.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. Secondary question. I sent you a question that I was curious about.
I should probably spell it right too. That's, that helps. There we go.
I love this map you put. I like that more than the actual physical map.
Yeah, I've got the world one too. That's like all of Eberron, all the continents. I'll send you that one as well. If you download the actual file, it's much easier to look at and zoom in on. And I'm getting to that DM right now.
While we are traveling, Iris is going to try to grab Belsay's attention.
Belsay's just he's just, I guess, chilling on the disc, right?
Yeah.
So he's
I guess she would probably, since you're kind of behind a little bit, she might use message to be able to speak with you since you're not right next to her.
well. How far back does the disc float? Like, can
Not
you
very
control it?
far.
8 feet, I
It's not
think.
far. Okay, so you were pretty close by then. Okay. I saw you staring in the night, Belsay. You have night terrors. Nightmares.
What? What do you mean?
My sister came home from the war much as you did. Hyper alert, easily startled. Night terrors, things of that nature. Any other symptoms for you?
Belsay kind of he kind of takes on a sort of a stern appearance, and his jaw kind of sets a little bit, and his lips compress, and he takes off his glasses and starts to wipe them off and looks down. Unfortunately, Tyrus, I know not of what you speak. Well, yes, I fought in the war. I know not of nightmares.
Interesting. So you're unaware.
There
Perhaps
is
the red
nothing to be aware of.
Well, that is not true, as I witnessed it. I imagine your partner probably could speak to it as
Tyrus,
well.
perhaps this line of questioning is better left for another day,
I don't
if not,
understand.
not at all.
Touchy.
Says Yorin.
Only if provoked. Please, do not ask me of this again.
Curious.
Not right now. I am sorry for your sister. That is all I will say. And he'll on I don't know how the disc works, but he'll kind of shuffle around until he's sort of facing away from the wagon. So he puts his back to the wagon and he's looking out behind, kind of keeping an eye out for anything that could be following us, but pretty honest, like pretty openly ignoring anyone trying to grab his attention right now, as he's just kind of unnecessarily wiping his bifocals for a while.
Well, ironic though. How long has Belsay had these symptoms? Have you tracked them, kept a journal at all, any sort of data? Anything empirical at all?
That is not for me to talk about.
I don't understand. And she'll
Clearly.
just simply sit back and go back to driving.
Roach is going to say to the Baron, he's going to say, my good sir, so you've told us about the prince's legend, but how will he receive us strangers? Is he receptive to newcomers, people who are looking for work, or maybe information?
This
You might be muted, DM.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
Ah!
I didn't pick that up if that was for me.
Oh, okay. So Orochi basically asked, what is the how does the prince react to strangers? He was just asking the Baron. Like, how will you receive a group like us?
Well,
He's no joke in my words intended. He's no stranger to strangers, I should say. He takes in new people to his camp every day. Wanderers coming out of the Mournlands. Or those that have simply settled in more nomadic camps across Breland and Greater Plains. But I don't think he'll be upset to see you in his camp, if that's what you're concerned about. And I know Oargev. He'll grant us an audience. Certainly, I'm sure of it. If not, I'll convince his nephew. I owe him a debt, and I play cards with him from time to time.
Fair enough. I just would like the measure of a man before I meet him. People of his legend seem to be, in my experience at least, trepidatious to newcomers. People looking for favor or some type of angle, maybe an unseen enemy. People are jumpy these days, especially someone who has experienced what he has. Just thought I'd be prepared.
Oargev is trusting. While he is young, he is not naive. He is a good leader, and he has seen real and true hard combat. His people are loyal to him, to a fault. A word to the wise. No matter how you regard him when you meet him, don't speak ill of him while at the new Cyre encampment. At least not in the earshot of New Sirens.
Fair enough. I must count myself as among those interested in meeting him. You tell his tale well. He'll just cross his arms and wait for the ride to be over.
I certainly hope he lives up to the expectations I've set for him. And he nods to you with a smile.
Yeah, fair enough.
Would anyone like to play a Ferunian game of cards? I could teach you all how to play. May assist us in passing the time. She says to those in the cart.
Yorn immediately shows excitement and agrees to play with you, not knowing how to play the game.
I'll take you up on that offer as well.
Now,
And,
you watch this entertainment.
Olira is out. Orochi in. Baron Yoran in. And that leaves us with TRS. No, you are driving, so be it. 3 people to play the game. And she'll teach the game of let's see, we'll call it Baldur's Gate Baccarat.
Wow.
Oh, that's great.
Wow.
Okay, so then you put these cards here. The discard pile is there. And right, these are wild, and right, and then you deal shuffle and she goes through it. The first round of betting is so. The second round is this. Any questions? Or is it clear as mud? All right, very well. Shuffle up and deal the cards. I shall. So she starts slinging the cards around. That can be just flavor or dungeon mastery. If you want us to play the cards, we can. Up to you.
Ooh. Bet for real money.
Oh, wow. Wow, look at that.
Loser pays for the winner's next game next week.
Right.
That's hilarious. That's kind of a great
Nice.
idea.
What is it? What?
Look.
Oh, look, cards.
That's hilarious.
Dungeon Master, are you muted? Oh, here's the cards.
I'm
All right.
muted. My bad.
Okay. Yeah.
You can deal these out, I think. Where did
I
they
don't know
go?
how to play.
All right, now they should have fallen off the edge of the earth. All right.
I don't know how to play this game. I figure we're just gonna roll for it.
Oh well, I mean, I often have to make things up on the fly, so I'm pretty good at doing it.
Okay, I'm not as creative as you. Yeah, just
All
player
right, guys.
character.
Well, I don't know
forget.
about that.
Don't forget to ante up. Don't forget to ante up your dragons. You got to make sure you have enough dragons to meet a full crown of I don't know.
All right, so you said this was you called it Baldur's Gate Baccarat?
Baccarat.
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 Baccarat. All right.
Baccarat is the lounge singer. Baccarat is the card game.
There we go. There we go. All right, so it's going to be different than the actual Baccarat rules because I have no idea how to play that game. But being that it gave you all a single card, each of you hold the card up to your foreheads, looking around at the other party members.
That's
And-
hilarious.
Basically, the point of this game is to try and tell the person what card they have without saying what card it is.
How do you draw a card?
All the cards should be at the edges of the map. I think they're on all 6 sides of the table.
Oh,
And
okay.
you should see them just floating up in the air. So zoom out real far, get a good bird's eye
Got it.
view.
Got it. Got it.
And you should be able to
And whichever one's
see.
by your character's name is yours. Okay.
I think
Mhm.
everybody should have
Got it,
one.
got it.
Here's blues. I'm getting yours blue. Sorry.
Oh,
Here's,
don't worry, I'm not playing. I'm not in the cart.
you're like, I don't even want to play that game. Sounds
Nope,
dumb.
I'm floating 30 feet behind. So you guys have fun.
You're chilling
I
on a
am-
disc.
Riding on my horse, dragging a disc.
All right. And
So the job is to do what again?
you
Sorry.
did basically try and tell the person what card they have without telling them what card they have.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so I will begin first. It proceeds to the left, so that means that we will begin with Orochi, I believe. Is that correct? I cannot see. There's a big tree
Sounds
just covering up your
fair to
name.
me.
Orochi, are you the blue?
No.
No, that is not there. That is Belse.
I'm the red.
It is
I'm not
Orochi is on
mistaken.
yours. Okay, it is Orochi. Oui, okay. All right, so
No looking.
all right. I can't. Well, I can't see what his card is.
Oh, you can't see what his card is?
No,
Alright.
I can only see what my card is. Yeah.
Oh, that's not good. We weren't supposed to look at
Oh,
your
shit. Well, I can.
I should have explained the rules before I put the cards out. Right, and I could deal new cards real quick.
Okay. Okay, Orochi, look away from your screen. That's how we'll do it. Deal new cards. You look away from your screen. Right? That would work.
Yeah,
Right?
I'll be near your character.
Okay.
And that's.
All right. All
Wait,
right.
but I can
That
see
was
both.
that was a practice round. We all screwed up. It's okay. You need to put more spit on your forehead so the card will stick. And let us try again. That was
I'll-
practice.
Yes, of course. My apology.
I'll draw a new card for each of you. So who's who we're gonna try and tell what they have on their forehead first?
I will attempt. I will do Orochi.
All right,
I will do
Orochi.
Orochi.
All right. So and who's playing in the game right now?
It is a solitude.
John, me, and Cody.
And Yoran.
Nope, I'm not playing.
It's me,
Yoran.
Orochi, and the Baron Yoran. That's right.
Okay.
He's a sport.
Oh, okay.
So the only person I need to message is John to tell you, John, what card you have attached to your forehead. And the card is, drum roll, in your DMs. I've crept into all your DMs tonight.
That's what we see Orochi have. Is that what we see Orochi has?
Hold on 1 second, guys.
I am enjoying watching all of you fail how to fail at this game.
Yeah, this is going to be.
Oh no, you are bending the cards. Do not be so aggressive when you are shuffling. Okay, let's try again.
Sorry about that, John. What was your question?
Which you messaged me a card name, but that's not my card. I'm not supposed to know what my card is.
No, you're supposed to know what his card is. You're
Exactly.
holding-
So that's what his card is.
That's what his
You
card
sent me
is.
his card.
Yes.
Okay. All
And,
right,
and you're trying to
Roshi,
tell
okay.
him what his card is without saying the card name.
You are the most powerful of us all, but you are also a gardener. Hmm?
Yes. In
That
a
was
matter of
clever. I like it.
saying. Yes.
Right.
Is
What
that
is your?
supposed to be some sort of clue?
Yes, we are playing the game. Most powerful of us all, but also a gardener.
And
Oh, I
remember-
get it.
Remember,
I get it.
you can't use
Here's
any
lapse
card
today.
names.
That's actually really clever. If it's what I think it is.
Merci. I'm glad everyone else can guess the clue except for the person who's supposed to. She laughs a little bit.
I must admit, you have me in some unawares. Can you provide another clue?
Let us see here. You are even above the royalty. Greater than those who rule these lands. But you are a male cat who can no longer reproduce.
Oh my god.
Female cat.
Yes, a female cat that can no longer be reproduced. Hey, does not own many pets.
Oh my god, this is great.
Am I the ace of spades?
Oui. Congratulations, and that is how the game is played. Oui?
Oh, marvelous. I
think
like this game.
I was very. Yes. Whose turn is it next?
Oh, please, let me go.
All right, Orochi, you can do the clue for the Baron.
It would be my pleasure.
It took you 2 turns to guess yours,
I will say card games aren't my forte, but maybe I'll be
apparently.
better at giving clues than receiving them.
So John and Brian, I just completely spelled it wrong, unfortunately, but you probably know what it is based on kind of what I got out there. There you go, man. Corrected, and John, coming your way now.
So I am to provide a clue, no?
Yes, you give me a clue, and I try and guess what this card I'm holding on my forehead is. Isn't that how it works, Solitude?
Okay.
Oui, correct.
You are what every girl dreams of being in a kingdom such as ours.
Ah.
And you are what every man wishes for in a woman.
What every girl dreams for in a kingdom. What every man wishes for in a woman. Oh, those are good clues, but I can't figure it out.
Let me think of another way of saying it. Yes, correct. Person who isn't playing. Very well met. But let me think of a clue for the band.
Come on, Baron, it is obvious. How does one get to be head of one of these houses if you cannot discern from the clues? Interesting.
Ah,
Perhaps
Well,
you are
the game is still on.
perhaps you are the doppelganger. What happened to our great Baron? Is he still tied up with the goblins? Perhaps.
Enough of your rouses. I give up.
he looks at the card.
Okay.
Queen
The
of
Baron is
Hearts.
quit.
Oh, Queen of Hearts. I should have known what every man dreams for in a woman, what every woman dreams to be in a kingdom. I'm a fool. Orochi, I apologize. I failed you.
That's all right. You lacking my skills of description. We are both at fault, and we are both new to this game. Well, whose turn is it now?
It is my turn to
You're
guess,
right.
and the Baron's the opportunity to give the clue.
Absolutely. Commence with the game.
Yes, yes. And I'll send what John's card is.
Solitude leans back confidently.
To Brian. And I know what it is myself. And there you go.
Well, if I were to give you a clue, I would say you are the most modest member of the royal family. And you may be found in gardens somewhere. Oh no. I've led you astray with that last one, I believe. Perhaps not in a garden.
Perhaps.
Phonetically speaking, an ogre may carry the other part of your name?
Oui. I am the jack of the clubs.
Yes, you got it. I did a good job.
Oui.
Bravo.
Indeed, the
Bravo.
Baron is a very good clue. Oui, you are the intelligence. You have redeemed yourself. But I am the winner of the first round.
Solitude, I very
undisputed,
much so
no?
like this game.
And
Yes,
we rinse
we
and
wax
repeat from there,
beginner's
and there's
luck.
much laughing and joviality from the cart as we continue on. And until the Baron dies of cholera, I get a broken arm, and our axle goes down when we try to ford a river.
No, that's the survival
gosh.
checks. You ruined it. I was like, and now we're about to play Oregon Trail with these survival checks
Bring it.
and nature checks.
Bring it.
So
Let's go. I'm in.
Tyrus dropped a 9, a 23, and a 4. And Rock, your nature checks were. Oh, I don't think you made them.
Not rolled. Not just straight nature checks through.
Yep. These are going to be like segmental, okay? So the first will be the first third of the trip, the second will be the second, the third will be the third. That's a good first part. Your rolls will make up for one another. It'll roll strong for Tyrus, kind of weaker for Rock. The last part of the journey is definitely the roughest, as Tyrus, do you have experience driving carts of this size?
Yeah, well, sort of. She's proficient in land vehicles, but it's kind of drawn on memories from mostly reading. So, actual experience? No. Let's go with that.
Add your proficiency bonus to those rolls then. So 9, 23, 4.
Okay, so +2.
The last part of the journey is still pretty bumpy, as you know, Rock is basically the leading party, the eyes, directing the path. You're steering the cart itself, and during
I read this little book. I know what I'm doing.
during the last part of the trek, you you hit a large rock in the road, and it cracks one of the wheels.
Oh God, is this like Rock's older brother or something?
No.
This
Tyrus
roll.
will
this-
get
What
out.
was that? Oh, what was the? I hear something crack.
It's probably nothing. Tyrus
Yeah,
will
two
get out
rocks
and
in
come
over.
around to the broken wheel and try to set it and fix it with bending.
If you need assistance, do not ask me. I am not handy with the tools.
Oh God, is she gonna get a
Thank you for
splinter
volunteering.
die? Roll for tetanus. Sorry. Do you need a hand? Sorry. Do you need a hand? Oh, wait, are we actually doing this or just a joke? I can't
Am I
tell.
able to get
A
it
broken wheel is
completely
not
with
a joke,
bending?
Belsay.
you try and
Do not know.
bend the wheel back into its previous form.
Well-
It's pretty well damaged from the rock that it struck. And it looks like it rotates, but every time it gets to a certain point, it bump, and the cart raises about 3 inches on that side. So there's definitely something still askew, but it may travel for a short period of time. You're just not confident in how it looks.
Maktaran, will you have a look as well?
There is still a hitch in the cart. You have not fixed it properly.
I have a vehicle tool as part of my soldier background. I have a proficiency in and a set of tools specifically for land vehicles. Could I help with that to repair?
You guys spend the better part of what seems like an afternoon, 3 or 4 hours, repairing this wheel. Taking your time to get it right, as you know that it's important to make it the rest of the way there. And you think you're most of the way there from what Yoren is explaining as landmarks along the way. And finally, the wheel's repaired, and you're ready to travel onward, though mildly delayed.
Putting my tools away.
Has it been repaired yet?
At long last, I believe we're roadworthy.
Indeed, we should be good to go. I believe I've done all that I can. It should be smooth sailing, as they say.
Yes.
All right. Merci for the repairs. You are quite handy, Belsay.
And the remainder of the third part of the trek is relatively uneventful, outside of the occasional horn blast and beating drum you hear in the distance. You hear these really in different directions, different periods of time, telling you, indeed, there's several goblin war parties out and about in these areas.
I never understood the strategy of alerting your enemy to your whereabouts, giving them plenty of time to escape. Strange these goblins are.
Is it perhaps an intimidation tactic, we? Perhaps they do not wish to engage so much as to frighten off any intruders.
Precisely.
Yes, but you think, though, with the overwhelming force that they have, they could easily crush their enemies if they would only have an element of surprise. Maybe that's just my particular way of fighting.
Remember how quickly we took care of, and by we, I mean our spellcasters, took care of that group of goblins with ease. Now imagine
I don't know.
spells of that caliber against hundreds. They would not stand a chance. It is better they intimidate from afar.
The goblins sounded pretty confident that they could handle a party of our size. I don't know. It seems like a strange tactic, even though I don't doubt your wisdom.
You did well enough against those numbers, but imagine hundreds of goblins streaming in all around you, their blades glinting in the darkness. That is a scary sight indeed, even for you, brave warrior, he says to Belse.
You guys feel free to have whatever conversations you need or want to have along the road. Let's take a quick in real life 5-minute break here. Bathroom break,
Sounds good.
drinks, snacks, do what you
Alright.
need to do, and then we will resume with a new map as you guys make your way to the entrance of New Cyre encampment.
New map. Yeah.
That was pretty cool for an on-the-fly game like that.
That was great. Nice job, guys. That was so much. That was so funny.
That was funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you are
Fucking
the most powerful, but also a garden utensil.
I am the ace of hose.
I could not.
The ace of hose.
I could not figure that out to save my life.
I'm the
I
king of
could
the
not figure it out.
hose. King of the hose. That's right.
Oh no.
What?
Even now, I still can't figure out what it means.
Because it's a spade. It's a tool used for gardening, like a kind of like a hoe. Sort of.
You're the ace of the neutered side. According to my second clue, you're the ace neutered.
I thought that
Yeah,
he was
Ace of
alluring to the
neutered.
fact that
Oh, because
I thought that he
spade.
was-
Spade. Cats get spade.
Oh.
yeah, that I understood. I understood that part. But I thought when he said
Oh.
gardener that he was. I thought when he said gardener he was alluding to the fact that Orochi is a farmer.
I definitely thought that I was gonna die when I jumped on that horse, so
Yep.
I am glad that I'm not dead.
Do you have a
Yeah,
backup
no-
character?
No risk, no
I do
reward.
not have a backup character.
What?
But it worked out though. It
Hear
worked
me
out.
out.
Hey guys, is
Night-
my voice higher? Is my voice more female this time?
You're doing great, John.
You sound fine.
Okay.
You're fine.
Yeah.
All right.
You sounded good before. Yeah.
Yeah, doing great.
Also,
Probably should
I
have just made a clue into this rate.
wasn't Malcolm. How about this? Hear me out. As an ode to how your first character Rock dies, or would have died, you should have made a centaur character that was part nightmare.
Oh.
Oh wow. Cool character right there.
Cool. That's actually a cool character design that I will hold on to for later.
It sounds really OP, so right up your alley.
Yeah, get bonus fire damage on my hook attack.
But it doesn't have wings though. It can't fly. I don't know. It's not invisible
I
either.
mean, I only have one flying character. It's fine.
Say flight is overrated. It's not, but it is. Honestly, dark vision, much more useful.
Stability.
I think too many races. I think way too many races have dark vision.
As
I
someone
think-
who is in a different campaign without dark vision, it fucking sucks not having it.
I'll tell you.
I
What
say
race
think
has it
that
shouldn't
they
have it?
should just give everybody dark vision because it's too logistically complicated to play when half of your party can't see.
Here's the real problem with dark vision. No one plays dark vision correctly.
Agreed.
Everyone just plays
Oh, I
dark
could just
vision.
see
that's
perfectly in the dark. Yeah, I'm like
yeah, no, you still see in
That's
shades
true.
of gray, and you still can't. You still have disadvantage to use for perception checks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
How's
because
the point?
you treat darkness like dim light. In dim light, you have disadvantage on perception checks.
Well, and
Oh.
also, so most of the time it's only 60 feet, which is not very far.
That's far enough. I mean, if you're a ranged fighter,
If you're in a
that's
cave or something, that's far
yeah.
enough.
There's almost no buildings in D&D that are that big that you couldn't see the entire room with 60 feet of dark vision.
Yeah, like
There
out
are
in this
very few.
out in this forest, that might have been an issue. Actually, no, it really wouldn't have, because apparently 60 feet is this whole fucking map. If you're in the
Yeah,
middle.
that's what I was saying. Yeah.
So.
Well, 60 feet is a long way. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's almost no
Yep.
spaces in D&D that are that big.
Yeah, and I'm rocking a solid 120 foot of dark vision, so definitely covered. Yeah.
Yep.
What?
A monster with or creature with dark vision can see in the dark within a specific radius. This monster can see in dim light with the radius as if it were bright light, and in darkness as if it were dim light. The monster can't discern color in darkness, only shades of gray. So when you're in dim light as a lighting for DMs, you're supposed to roll all perception checks at disadvantage. So if you have dark vision and you're in total darkness, yeah.
I feel like what they needed to do was to either leave it to like one or two specific races. Like elves makes a lot of sense. You know, being either cave or forest dwellers.
Maybe dwarves also.
Yeah, like it could have even even dwarves, and then
Maybe
like
tieflings maybe.
Nah.
Nah.
Yeah.
Tieflings are already
tieflings.
OP.
Yeah, I would have said
gnomes though.
I would have said
gnomes.
Elves. Well, a lot of elves are surface or gnomes are surface dwellers though. It
That's
could have
true.
been a specific subrace of gnome.
Ooh,
I
I don't
makes
know.
sense for tieflings to have dark vision. It makes sense for tabaxi to have dark vision. Most of the races that do have dark vision, it makes sense for them to have it.
I feel bad for halflings. Halflings should.
Why?
They should. They should.
I don't know.
Why?
Their
why?
their lucky feature is good enough that it's worth playing them anyway. But a lot of other races, like if you don't have dark vision, it's hard to even want to play.
That's kind
It's
of why like humans are
Yeah,
fun.
but then you just use a torch, or you find a way around it.
And then everyone's pissed off at you because you lit a torch. Like, oh, suck.
And like everybody can see you now.
Well, here's the
You're
thing.
this glowing beacon.
Let's just kill that guy. He keeps lighting a torch.
Well, you light the torch and then throw it, don't you?
Like a game where they want to win. So like lighting a torch and having yourself be visible from far away is seen automatically as a bad thing because you don't want to be seen.
Yeah, but I mean, there's ways around it to be creative. I mean, having limitations sometimes is fun.
Favorite item
Yeah,
in the game.
yeah, totally.
There's ways around it to
Totally.
be creative.
Yep, limitations are cool. I agree.
And no one ever buys one, and they're the most useful items in the game if you don't have dark vision.
True. I mean,
What's
as
that?
someone who's playing a human, I can vouch. It's super useful.
A bullseye lantern is
Oh, yeah.
a hooded lantern that sheds light in a cone in front of you. So it doesn't shed a circle of light for you to look at, and the distance that it sheds light out to is ridiculously far.
It also sees invisible creatures up to 10 feet, right?
A bullseye lantern?
Or am I thinking? What am I
There's like
thinking
a lantern of revealing or something like
that's
that.
a lantern
might
of
be
reveal.
what you're thinking of.
Okay. Who's pinging like crazy?
I
Steve.
It's
I think
Gannicus. He's trying to let you know where we are.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Ooh,
Okay.
new map.
I forgot that
A
not everybody
bullseye lantern
turns
sheds-
all their tabletop simulator sound off. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
You're
I
fine.
was just explaining
Ooh,
a
new map.
bullseye lantern to Steve. A
Just-
bullseye lantern casts bright light in a 60-foot cone and dim light for an additional 60 feet.
I'm just in the background like blong,
That's
blong,
awesome.
blong.
Yeah.
Sorry, Steve.
It's a great item.
No, you're fine. I was just like, is everything like is someone just not? I don't know. I was just like,
My-
I don't know.
My tab button got stuck. No, I was trying to tell you guys that this is where you're at. It's always hard on these maps because they're so big.
Here, I got you, fam.
Yeah, buddy. There's a lot of blue arrows. Right. I got to load a couple things up here. A wagon.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any weird eggs. Yay.
Oh, did you create a combined rock Fyrex token?
Oh yeah, I sure did.
That's hilarious.
I
That is
like it.
hilarious.
That's smart.
And a goblin. And an
Yeah.
Ignis. Oh no, not that goblin.
Get Ignis.
That's a weird goblin. Get him out of there.
Look at that goblin. Yes.
Wait, so
Look at the goblin.
I love this map.
You want to see him again?
Graphical.
I'll put him out there. He's a weirdo.
Yeah,
I
that'll
got the
work.
goblin.
Why is he
Should have
here?
asked him about.
Doing the moonwalk. We'll use him again some other time. Ignis.
Vous êtes arrivé à New Cyre.
And as you
Ooh.
pull into, he's a big boy. Yeah, scale him down a little bit. He's kind of gigantic right now. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
As you pull into what looks to be a swamp-like encampment of some kind, you see signs of civilization, tents and makeshift hovels here and there, and also directly ahead you see two familiar totems with bear-shaped heads at the top of them. All around the camp, you see these mystical fireflies floating around. In their presence, if you are looking at them, they set you at ease and make you feel comfortable. There's almost a magical quality about them.
Are we out of the cart?
Yeah, you guys
You can get out of the cart.
You guys
Okay.
get out at your own free will.
I'm off the wagon again. Stumbling towards New Cyre. Baked out of my mind. All right. Bienvenue à New Cyre, I suppose, Monsieur Goblin.
Just past the totems, you see a group of what looks to be soldiers standing atop some makeshift docks. They look to be recently formed. And calling up from the platform down to Yorin. Yorin, is that you? I hope you've brought that quart of pickled eggs you owe me. Read, Yorin says, surprised, patting himself down in mock search of an obviously absent debt of pickled eggs. Alas, my old friend, they have escaped me at the moment, but I do not come to repay debts. I come bearing bad news, unfortunately. I need to speak to Prince Oargev urgently. Is he here? Why, yes, he is, of course, but he's currently in prayer. I can take you to him if you need an audience with him. Reed kind of picks up the sense of urgency from Yoren's voice and the change of his tone. Rachel, can you share this bad news with me? He begins to walk along the docks, ushering you all past him and motioning to the guards to make way for you. Oh, sorry, Orochi. I think I just blocked you.
Solitude will look around her surroundings. Anything jump out at her?
Make a perception check.
Okay. 25.
Full 360 view. You look around you. What stands out the most is just to the left, opposite direction of where you guys are headed. There's like a strange-looking tent in solitude behind you, and a large crate wrapped in what looks to be some kind of netting protecting it, keeping it all bundled together. And just beyond it, some ominous-looking crates with red circles drawn on them, indicating perhaps explosives.
Okay.
Brock
Okay.
will definitely keep Pyrex away from the explosives.
Just navigating, right?
What kind of vibe do we get from the guards? Pensive or
Stern, dutiful, quiet. basically they just took that order from Breed, stood aside, and they look pretty emotionless, but they're also completely armored, visors drawn down over their faces.
Oh, yeah, zooming in, I see that now.
I'm gonna make sure to gesture for the goblin to follow close behind me, and kind of give a stern nod to the guards as we walk by.
I don't think I'm wanted here.
I suppose the guards beat down the goblin with their eyes as he walks past.
You'll be fine. I will vouch for you.
Interesting company you're keeping these days, Yoren, he says as he surveys all of you. And he smiles at you all warmly, except the goblin.
Even Ignis?
Even Ignis.
And what might your name be, my friend?
I'm Reed. Reed Irwinarn.
Reed Urinarn?
Irwinarn. A
Irwinarn.
difficult one to pronounce.
Reed Irinar. Belsepon. Pleasure to meet you. Reaches out a fist to shake his hand.
He immediately takes your hand. Well met. You
Well
travel
met.
in good company. And he nods to Yoren. Though
Indeed, the Baron has done right by myself and my friends.
I wouldn't play cards with him if I were you, he says with a coy smile and a wink.
Solitude passes by and goes, he is not too tough.
And Reed
Rock will
raises his eyebrows, questioning this response, wondering.
Rock will dismount and pat Fyrus on the shoulder and leave her with some of his rations for the time being. We will find something better for you as soon as I am able.
You can find a place to tie her up around the cart, and I'll disconnect you there. You can be free of your steed.
Be free!
You might have to grow a little bit, and be other people's size.
Solitude's
is
still
gonna
looking.
lean
Oh,
to-
sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
Roach is gonna lean to Lyrin and say, "It seems the Baron is a man of his word. We do seem indeed welcome in this camp."
I
He
told
seems-
you, I have friends all around, he says from some 15 feet ahead.
Where is the Baron?
I'm trying to find that right now.
Yes. I was
Just
wrong.
role playing
where's-
away, and poor Baron Yoren is no representation on the map. He is ahead of all of you right there.
Okay.
And
See that he is quite popular on these spots.
the Baron's generosity is known far and wide. He has provided food to many refugees after the day of mourning. It is because of the Baron that we have survived these long winters. Your words are too kind, Reed. I had many people to help me, Yoren says humbly. And as you guys make your way through, Yoren leading the pack and Reed taking up the rear, he leads you all the way to what is just a massive, what are those trees out in California called?
Redwoods?
Banyan? Banyan?
Redwood?
Yeah.
Redwood, perfect, yep. Redwood style trunk that's just been carved down to serve as a gathering point or a base of operations, if you will. And Reed guides you all up a ramp. As you walk up it, you see several more of the Cyran soldiers. and an interesting looking Warforged tampering with one of the large crates that you saw, Solitude, over by that solitary tent. And this Warforged has interesting tattoos etched into his steel arms, legs, neck, and skull, much similar to some of your companions, as a matter of fact. And as you walk past him, he regards you kindly with a nod, then turns back to his work, and you see one of the tattoos on his arms disappear. His finger lights into almost like a little match, and he begins to seal together some netting that's begin to fray.
Oh.
Mr. Dungeon Master, sir, I would like to use a divine sense to see if I sense any good or evil, undead, fiends, or celestials. Anything of that nature in the area. 60 feet.
You sense
Just in case.
you sense only dead animals from a recent hunt in the area, to be roasted on a spit later. No undead, no celestial, and you do sense an overwhelming presence of good.
Okay.
Just as you're walking up the platform, there's a standout character talking to one of the guards. He stands out because everyone you've seen so far, outside of Reed and several bowmen standing atop platforms, have been, well, dressed the same, we'll say, in uniform. Whereas this character looks to be shady, I'll put it that way. He's got a hooded cloak that's pulled down low over his eyes. His face is shrouded by what looks to be like a bandana pulled over his face. And he's well clad with daggers, swords, and a blade that you can see sticking out of his boot. He seems to be chatting up one of the guards, but as he sees your group approach, and Solitude makes her way towards the platform, he walks up to Solitude and grabs her arm softly, pulling her aside.
I will let this individual pull me aside. Alicia, over here, perhaps? I'm gonna head over this way. And maybe downstairs. And we will have ourselves a little chat, we?
And for those of you that notice this, you see a quiet conversation between Solitude and this strange fellow.
As I still off the wagon, so I'm falling downstairs, just wasted. Hold it together, Solitude. There we go. Thanks.
Mhm.
She looks over her shoulder and kind of motions like, go on, I'll be right there.
And
But with her hand.
the rest of you that make your way up the platform, you come across an interesting looking scene. Several soldiers gathered around. In the corner of the platform, you see a bard holding a lute, strumming it softly, playing what seems like religious hymns, perhaps. Soft respectful, quiet music. Everybody's calm and peaceful and quiet except, well, I shouldn't say except, but a man stands at the head of the organized group, holding a scripture and speaking out loud, some kind of a sermon, from what you can tell. And as you make your way closer to it, you can hear him speaking. And if we follow in the light of the sovereign host, so too shall we reclaim its bounties. Our prince, he nods to a crowned, distinguished-looking individual standing just before him, will guide us to this light. He is our light in physical form. Through him, we shall have redemption, we shall have salvation. All we need do is follow in his footsteps. And Prince Oargev, serious look on his face, this character over here, kind of looks to the gentleman standing aside him, long-haired, ponytailed, also distinguished-looking armor, very ornate-looking furs around his shoulders, and beautiful artisan weaponry, shield. Everything about him says he's a seasoned, battle-hardened veteran. And while the prince himself looks slightly more polished, his clothing looks to be of more royal nature, he too bears the marks of a warrior, both on his armor and on his flesh. As you see 4 large scars across his face. Think to yourself about the rumors the Baron shared with you about the battle with the bears. You see him whisper something to his companion on his left, and his face seems stern as well, serious, almost mildly annoyed at the overboasting of the priest. And Orochi, you're standing close enough to where you might be able to hear. Roll perception for me.
All right. At times like this, I wish I was better at it. Let's see.
You got this, man. Go.
Oh,
Nope.
not today.
Orochi.
All right, strike what I said from the record. Maybe you don't got this.
Yep.
You
Yep.
hear the
He is still thinking about the card game clue. He's like, card? What?
Yeah. God damn. Garden. What?
you hear a between Prince Oargev and Darwin, his companion, but you can't make out what is said.
Now, it would be in character for him to hear whispers and try to get closer, but now maybe not.
If so, please do approach closer and make another perception check.
Okay.
Straining to hear,
That? See?
you move in, and you hear a bit of the conversation. He can't be making a martyr out of me to these people. I fight alongside them every day. If I'm to fall in battle, their hope will be lost. What of their light then? Who will they follow? You must speak to him about this. I appreciate his kind words and candor, but I like him making a god out of me.
And this is the prince talking to the priest?
This is the prince speaking to Darwin, his companion, immediately on his left.
Okay.
And Darwin responds back, "The people need divinity right now. They need something to believe in, a higher power. The priest keeps their spirits high. Him and that bard." He looks over his shoulder, annoyed.
All right. He will take note of this.
And the priest says several other very religious things, very, very profound and very meaningful that I will not be able to reproduce, so I'm just going to say that. And he finishes his little sermon, calls an end to their congregation or gathering, and encourages everybody to grab something, stew, porridge. Both are cooking and fires nearby. And you see one of the bowmen begin to pass out wooden bowls and spoons to those who approach looking for food. And Reed gestures to each of you. Please, make yourselves at home. You are free to camp here, eat, fill your bellies.
We do
We are
appreciate
thankful.
this. It isn't much, but it's what I can contribute if you would like some drink.
Is it
I
alcohol?
either water or alcohol.
Well, I'll have some water, but save the alcohol for the men. I must keep my wits about me. I'm a captain. And he points proudly to a little insignia on his left shoulder.
What is the insignia?
It just represents that he's a captain.
And what was your name, Captain? I'm sorry.
Captain Reed Irwinon.
Oh, this is Reed talking.
Mhm.
Okay.
Around this time, Solitude rejoins the group.
Suspicious glance from Tyrus.
Making friends already, says Reed to Solitude as you reapproach the group.
I make friends wherever I go.
And he gives you a small bow.
She will nod her head respectfully as well. Not unfamiliar with the formalities of the realm, so to speak.
I was just offering your friends something to eat and drink. If you'd like to take rest here, you may as well.
Oui, merci. J'ai faim. Very hungry, I believe is how you say here. Thank you.
The just for my own clarification, was Cyre? It was the country, correct? And it was its own separate country during the war.
Yeah, and just reviewing that map too. Let me drop it in the chat real quick because it's buried in there. Reviewing that map, if you look at the map of Corvair, it's the large like blotch
Cloudy
of
white
white
area.
space. Yeah, exactly. Clouded, barriered area, and that all was once Cyre. Metral was like Sharn of Breland to Cyre. It was the city, the hub, and massive walls encircled the city. Towers upon these gigantic stone pillars that rose hundreds of feet into the sky as a tribute to the giants who built them.
Dulce would have smeared some mud on the engravings on his armor, trying to play it up that he's just looking a little dirty. That's it.
Reed, if the prince isn't busy at the moment, this is a very urgent matter. I need to speak with him as soon as possible.
You're always in a hurry. You seem perplexed, my friend. Tell me, what's wrong?
I'd rather share this directly with the prince. Reed, you will forgive me, of course.
Ah, very well, Reed says, mildly disappointed. I shall see if he's available to speak to you at the moment. Wait here. And he moves 10 or 15 feet or so towards where the king or the prince is gathered with Darwin and the priest and engaged in some kind of a conversation. And you see Reed lean in to Prince Oargev, whisper something into his ear, and then Prince Oargev looks over at the group, as well as Darwin. Yoren, it's good to see you, old friend. You've traveled long and far, I'm sure. And what brings you to... well, what brings you to the swamps out here? You speak too low of what you've done here, Oargev, says Darwin. I would agree. In such a short period of time, too. You seem to have your feet underneath you, young prince. Ah, well. I've had help as well. What could I say? Ah, where are my manners? Yoren looks back at the party. I must introduce my companions first and foremost. This is Orochi Yuma. He points to Orochi. Lyra Naphael. Solitude.
Enchanté.
Rock.
Thank you. He'll bow quietly.
Tiris.
Pleasure, I am sure. And she'll bow.
And Belsay Palm.
Belsay will just kind of give a head nod.
And our friend waiting over there is Ignis. He points to Ignis standing at the bottom of the platform, not wanting to take up too much space. An interesting pack of travelers. You keep interesting company, Baron Yoren. What is it that you bring these lovely folks here to my encampment for? Well, I'm afraid I come with ill news from Sean. It is my duty to bring this news to you, as a member of our order. I believe that there are those in Sean's government who are involved in plots that would bring about the resurrection of certain evil deities. Those same deities worshipped by those of the Dark Six. The same group our order has fought against for hundreds of years. Oargev doesn't say anything, waiting for Yoren to continue. You see,
What kind of order would be an order that fought against the Dark Six for hundreds of years?
do a history check.
And any of us do this, or just Solitude?
Anybody curious to know? And if you get it, you'll know in character, and if you don't, at least you'll know out.
Would I be able to make this a religion check?
Yeah, that's cool with me.
Man.
Knowing my specialty.
Yeah, because they're of a religious nature. I think that this works, or at least a counter religious nature. Let's see here. Sorry, going over to Discord. Okay, Rock, Lyra, Solitude, Tiris. Orochi, did you roll history as well? Well, all of you.
No, I didn't.
All of you above a 15 will pass the check, and you know that an order that checks in with that description would be the Order of the White Flame. And for those,
White flame, not the silver.
not the Silver Flame.
Know the difference.
Not to be mistaken. Or the White
making sure.
Lotus. I think there's another video game out there with that group. But before you look for a reference on this, there's nothing out there. This is a little custom craft of mine. So
No, that's fine. That's why I was asking if it was the silver. Just making sure.
Silver flame. Silver flame.
Too early, John.
Oh, fuck
Wait.
off.
And suddenly the party kills Solitude.
Kill me. Solitude has nothing to do with it.
Look, I'm not saying I hope
She's much cooler than me.
I'm not saying I hope your Mac computer garbage explodes, but if it did.
Did you guys hear my cat going completely batshit crazy on my lap?
Yeah,
I heard like
Yeah. Hello, everyone on Twitch. That's BitBit, my player character advisor.
Oh.
Okay, so the White Flame.
So the Order of the White Flame would be a group of, well, actually a rather diverse group of individuals, races, religions even, because it's not a religious group, it's more an anti-religious group. You see, the Dark Six were a group that actually, they're to be honest, they're the second largest religious group out there in terms of their followers, though most of them reside in the areas of Drome, the darkest places of Eberron. Their numbers are still quite large, and only outweighed by the sovereign host, of course, and the deities that are represented by it. And the Dark Six were at once a part of that pantheon, a part of the sovereign host, and a part of that group of gods that were worshipped. Specifically, there are 6: the Devourer, the Fury, the Mockery, the Shadow, the Traveler, and the Keeper. Now, the Traveler, out of all the 6, is sort of a mysterious. The Traveler is neither a child nor a parent to any other god in the collected pantheon. And it's the only god said to walk the face of Eberron in body, as well as in spirit. But its mastery of form prevents any mortal from recognizing it, unfortunately. The sovereign of cunning, invention, transformation, the Traveler is patron to all who embrace change, whether physical or philosophical. Changelings, doppelgangers, lycanthropes, shifters view the Traveler as the highest god. And there's the Shadow, the sovereign of magic and mayhem. Chaotic evil. If Dol Ra represents the light of the mortal soul, the Shadow is the darkness within. To some, he is called Dula Zurak, the literal shadow of Orion. Acquired both sentience and godhood as the cosmic price paid by its creator for arcane knowledge. It is a god of ambition, corruption, and dark magic, and evil spellcasters the world over conduct foul rituals in its name. The Shadow is the progenitor of Medusas and the patron to a great many other monster races, especially in Drome, where its worship is most popular. Legends say that Orion and his Shadow to be once again united,
the age of civilized peoples would come to an end. This is the prophecy that Yoren worries comes to fruition in the very bowels of Sharn, in the vaults deep within Kundarak.
Shit.
And that is Orion and his shadow reuniting and resulting in the end of days. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Basically, when his physical presence on the material plane, Eberron, and his spiritual presence, which has been banished into the depths of the Underdark, meet and join and combine, well, that day would certainly be a day of mourning. Dum dum dum.
What does the reaction of Prince Oargev seem like
Horrified.
to this?
As a religious person, he knows of these prophecies, and he looks to Yoren, shaken by his words. Can it be? What signs tell you that they can draw him back to this world? I thought he was cast out. I thought cast away, locked forever into the Underdark. Yoren pulls out of his chest pocket the amulet, dangles it in front of Oargev, and says, "Do you know what these are?" Oargev nods his head in understanding. "Yes, Kyber shards, drawn from the deepest depths of Kyber, said to be the dried blood of the progenitor dragon, Kyber himself, sown deep into the earth's veins, found in rare places. When mined, can be used to bind magic. Some believe it can be used to perform the very act that is prophesied. Others have discovered that this crystal has the power to nullify dragon-marked magic. There's even rumors of shackles being created, put on those that are dragon-marked, completely rendering them powerless.
That
Now,
is an interesting application.
there is a silver lining to all this. He looks back at you, Tyrus. You see, for every power there is an equal and opposite power in this world.
Certainly.
Kyber shards' counterpart are Sybaris shards, which of course is the blood of the progenitor dragon Sybaris. Now, these are scattered across Eberron, as Sybaris was destroyed, blown apart. Very rare and difficult to find, though, if mined in good enough quantity, may be able to combat the forces of Kyber shards in the wrong hands. As we speak, there are forces that seek these magics, looking to acquire as many as they can.
Do you believe it would work so directly? Things that appear to be opposite at first are not always.
Indeed. But I fear the power of the Kyber shards is unknown to even those who know the most about it. In the wrong hands, these most certainly could bring about, if not the prophecy coming to fruition, most certainly ill fate for that of the civilized world. He looks down, bowing his head at this, seeming dejected
and discouraged.
Solitude will take a quick, nonchalant, peripheral vision scan of the rest of the people in attendance. Is anyone's reaction suspicious? As in, not surprised, not concerned, or feigning surprise too much? Anything like that?
Roll perception and insight.
18 percept. 13 insight.
As you scan the crowd of people on the platform, everybody looks to be pretty engaged in what Yorin is saying. No one looks to be in disbelief, but you don't really mark anybody as standing out, not believing what he has to say, or not respecting the gravity of the situation that he describes.
No red flags.
Except maybe the bard who strums his lute still quietly in the corner, picking his strings.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Got it. Okay. Just continue listening.
You bring me this knowledge, and for that I thank you. You must have risked much to travel here. And what of your...
We were accosted by members of the Dark Six, is that what they're called? Along the way.
The blue.
Oyster, not oyster.
Blue.
Blue.
We're gonna make that lore pretty soon. The Blue Oyster Cult.
Blue Orchid? What were blue?
That was what they were. The Blue Cultists.
Okay.
The blue cultists, yeah. I was trying to remember if there was some specific name that they were called, but I was like, oh no, they're just blue cultists.
I went very generic there. The Order of White Flame, Blue Cultists. You can see that I'm extremely creative with my names. My son will be like Tim.
Hey, that's one of my favorite characters on Monty Python.
Oh no.
That's always what I think of when I think of the name Tim too. So we're kindred spirits, man.
His name
is Tim.
Tim. The Enchanter.
I
love you guys.
I digress. Oargev says, Blue cultists, then. Yes. I've been hearing their numbers growing near the borders of Sharn. Interesting that you bring this news. Ill deeds in the Kundarak vaults. But what does Jalen de Kundarak stand to gain from having blue cultists skulking around in his vault? That I don't know. But I do know that Jalen de Kundarak will do anything for a coin. Right you are. Oargev strokes his beard as he thinks on this situation. What you say is true. It is of the utmost importance that we seek out these Sybarish shards. But I should think that knowing your enemy is just as important as having a way to fight him. Perhaps we should seek out some of these Kyber shards. I have heard rumors of where we may be able to mine some, although the journey is treacherous and would take us into the Mournlands. He looks to all of you, gauging your level of readiness for a journey of that magnitude. The Mournlands are incredibly tainted lands. Just being in them lends one to exhaustion, confusion, madness. Companions have killed one another. Brothers tear each other apart. Father, son, mothers, traveling through the mists, changed them, did something to them. And
Permanently, or just when you're there?
Oh, both.
Okay.
But there's pockets that can be traveled through in the Mournlands that are, well, more bearable, we'll say. And the effects are lesser, such that you can travel through them without being hindered. Though you do need to know the way, and the wind patterns cause the mists to ever shift and change.
Do I get the sense, then, my lord, you would perhaps ask us to traverse the Mournlands in search of such shards?
You are noble to offer yourself as volunteer for this quest. It is most dangerous and generous. But I can't allow you to risk so much alone. Surely I should accompany you. Darwin immediately seems to revolt at this idea. My prince, he looks to him.
You must not risk yourself on the outskirts of the Mournlands.
And Oargev kind of shrugs him off a little bit, giving him a little bit of a pipe down type of hand. The kind that a prince would give a subject. And my captain is correct. It would be unwise for me to venture out into the Mournlands with you. I must stay here with my soldiers. But I could tell you where to go, how to get there, and send you with a guide that can take you through the mists. Reed. And Reed steps forward. Would you be willing? I suppose I wouldn't mind traveling with Yoren again. Pats Yoren on the back, giving him like a hard slap, knocking him a couple of inches forward.
Ah, Reed, I told you I don't like it when you do that.
Would it be wise for the Baron to join in this expedition? Not to disparage his skill, but as the Baron of a house, would he not be better suited here?
He most certainly would,
says the gravelly voice Darwin.
We cannot guarantee his safety, especially on such a dangerous expedition.
Fear not risking your pretty face, my prince. Your cousin shall go in your stead.
Reed is his cousin?
Yeah, and Reed's got this just gleaming, brilliant boy band-like smile. The face...
Retriever energy.
Yeah, golden retriever energy. The face that you want to love and punch at the same time.
Solitude's left eyebrow raises a tiny bit. She's gonna give old Reed the once-over. What kind of vibe does she get from him?
I'll say from your insight check, looking over Reed, when you looked over all the soldiers, Reed strikes you as a confident, but also ambitious young man. He doesn't have a lack of respect for the prince, but he kind of jibes and makes comments that a family member or comfortable, friend may make towards someone who's in a position of power. But the prince, meets him with a stern nature and usually sends him on errands like this.
Okay, got it. Eyebrow lowers.
I want to say the vibe you get from him is the vibe between him and the prince. You sense some sort of competition between them.
Got it.
And
I approach and I put my hand on Yoren's shoulder, or Baron Yoren's shoulder.
More so on Reed's end, just to finish that up. And
yep.
What
What may I help you with, my friend?
He looks up at you, 4 feet taller than him.
You made promises, Baron.
Ah, very, very well. Yes, I did.
He pulls out a large sack. And he begins to delve into it, counting out pieces of gold, and pays everybody their handsome reward for delivering him to Prince Oargev.
What
And
was it, 500 gold?
I believe so. As he divvies out 500 gold pieces to each of you, Prince Oargev looks questioningly at each of you. Are you mercenaries?
We were hired.
Ah,
Of a sort. We rolled over into new jobs.
paid hands then. I see.
For Yorin, at least.
Mercenary works for me.
However, I would forfeit my share in exchange for something specific if I could.
Such a large
Garrus
portion is
raises an
generous offer.
eyebrow and
What?
looks with curiosity.
What is it you seek, my new friend?
I have recently acquired a horse of sorts.
Of course, of course.
And you see Oargev walk over to several of his horses and pat one of them on the back and say, "Ah, fine animals they are, horses. You can trust them with your
Shit.
life."
Should not
Dungeon Master.
cavalry be armored?
Sorry, I missed a little bit. Something cavalry armored. Sorry.
Should not cavalry be armored?
Most certainly, if they're going into battle.
Would you happen to have any spare armor that a horse could wear?
Oh, of course. See our stable master, and he directs you towards a bowman who looks exactly like Reed.
Are they twins?
Twinsies.
There is a lot of Irwinarns out there. I'm just saying. Maybe a little Game of Thrones action going on in there.
Oh, no.
Okay.
They all got that white hair going on. But yeah, if I don't have to, I will gladly accept the gold. I'm sure we'll need it where we're going. But as a show of faith, Lord Irwinarn,
If it's gold you seek, come back with some of those crystals, and I'm most certain we can find a reward for you.
it is not. I have use for gold as everyone does, but I seek knowledge, experience. And this is right up my alley.
It is an interesting opportunity. Do you have the means to study these crystals should we retrieve them?
Indeed. I have several alchemists and artificers on standby for this very job.
I would be happy to work with them if you so desire.
Most certainly. We could use all of the help we could get. He pays you
Wonderful.
a respectful bow.
Perhaps a mage gifted in enchantment is about?
Most certainly. We have mages in our war camps.
Thank you.
Well then, I shall provide you with this map, and he pulls out a pretty detailed map of the surrounding areas that cover most of what is known as the Midlands, the area between Breland and what once was Cyre and now is the Mornlands. And he gives you basic directions on how to get exactly where you'd need to go. To get
Viewers will
to
take extremely detailed notes.
the ruined city of Metral, which is where Oargev is from. And he says
Did you see your DMs?
Ooh, I got DMs.
Ruined city of Metrol, Metrol.
Oh, mother.
Prince's old
As
base.
As Solitude walks within 10 feet of the horses, Oargev is standing by, kind of joining the conversation with the rest of the group. You see the horses begin to stamp and immediately show signs of discomfort and unease. One of the stable masters looks at Oargev. I don't know what's wrong with them. They just started fussing out of the blue. No sign of rain or a storm.
Do I notice this?
He says it pretty plainly in between you and Oargev. He's standing on. You're basically standing between them.
I will nonchalantly take a few steps away from the horses.
You see the horses begin to settle as Solitude moves away.
Did we notice this?
I was gonna say, did we notice this happening at all?
Roll perception.
Let's go.
12 will tell you yes.
Natural 20.
So close.
Do we get a sense of Solitude's reaction to this as well?
If you're looking at Solitude directly, you'll say after seeing this, you're kind of trying to gauge her reaction.
Yep.
Based on his role, Solitude, what's the look on your face as this is occurring?
Poker face, very much. But she steps away as nonchalantly as possible. But you would say that it appears that she is aware of her proximity being a likely cause of a causal thing. So that's why she's like,
Agitation.
step back.
Okay. Interesting.
She wasn't like surprised. She's not just standing there still. She stepped away when it happened.
Right. I can keep note of that. Did she do anything? Or did she just walk?
Just a few steps from what you could tell.
Okay. Well, if we are covered for the moment, perhaps we can recuperate from our travels for the night, go about some business, and then take off in the morning.
Oh, that's a good question, actually. What time of day is this?
It is bright and early in the morning.
Okay, I was
Just
figuring
after
it was still
just after morning mass.
about time for 11sies.
Okay.
Yes, so when shall we be departing? Is it right away, or do we have a bit of time to remain in the camp, or what is the plan?
Well, I have no problem just being on our way if you are all right with it.
I would not mind strolling about for a bit more, perhaps an hour or so before we head out, if that is okay with the rest of the group.
I would agree. A rest would seem in order, as well as obtaining any supplies that are needed.
Agreed. As we are going into some dangerous land, perhaps special equipment will be in order.
Indeed. And you all are interested in tackling this particular quest.
Yes, that's something I'd like to discuss.
Please, Orochimaru. Orochi Yuma, sorry.
I will go with the group, regardless of the decision. I will meet you back here in an hour, and I'll step off.
What say you, Orochi Yuma? We will see you
Seems
soon.
like a little. It seems like a very big task, don't you think? We initially just signed up as simple mercenaries, but now embarking to save the world. Were we some sort of heroes?
Someone must do it.
I think you'd be wise to arm yourselves as you speak of. And if you're looking for items of rarity or magical quality, I know of a place you could seek out, perhaps a bit out of your way, but you do have a method of transport now, after all, don't you?
We do indeed.
He explains that there's a dwarven forge deep in the nation of Dargoon, which is a ways off from where you're headed, but in the same direction to the east. And in Dargoon, this dwarven forge is said to be the place of great dwarven artificers who, in a gigantic volcano, make these amazing and magical, high-quality weapons. You were talking higher level stuff.
Nice.
And it may be worth
Legendary
circumventing
artificers?
the immediate mission, as there's no direct urgency behind getting to where you're trying to get to mine said crystals, or at least search for them to be mined. And the treachery of the Mornlands is very serious, and Oargev tries to impart that upon all of you as you are taking this risk.
It would be
These are
wise for us
wise
to be
words.
prepared.
Well, I mention this to be frank with all of you. I initially signed up with the good Baron to fund travels of my own, but I will mark it as fortuitous that I met you lot, because I might need your help in this task. You see, I am looking for a rather peculiar egg. I know it sounds strange, but it's something rather important to the village I come from. I'm not so concerned with these crystals, but if I could find this egg, and maybe so offer my aid in return, then that would be beneficial. But I would say that this is not my primary concern.
So then, is it, to my understanding, that we will remain as a party of sorts for the time being, now that our mission is over?
So it would seem.
What about you, Belsae? Do you have something, I don't know, some sort of cause that binds you to this task? Or is it just your curiosity that you're satisfying?
I simply wish to educate those around of their own divinity. That is all. If I can do some good along the way, that should help in my cause.
Well,
I can explain later, perhaps with less zealous eyes around. And he kind of furtively glances around at the various sovereign host, right? Various sovereign host
Yep.
people. Yeah. Perhaps elsewhere, if you are so inclined to understand.
well, I will say if this mission is as dangerous as they make it seem, you'll need more. Well, I'll say this: your conviction must be of 100% absolution.
Perhaps. But one step at a time. I believe these dwarves could have some useful items, and perhaps information on your egg.
I would hope. And Liren, would you say this? You share in your friend's task?
I am here mostly to accompany. Someone must keep him out of trouble. And
Even into the depths of hell?
even so,
Interesting.
So loyal for one so dark, Tears.
Dulce will smile
Solitude?
fondly at Lyra.
Rock is whispering this
Solitude
to
walked.
Tears.
Solitude walked off, right?
Yeah,
yep,
solitude.
she went for a night on the town.
Something. Who knows?
Sorry to be so frank with you all, but seems like we're making some critical decisions for our foreseeable future.
No, I
Better
do
to
agree.
have
This
our
is not
cards
something
on
that
the
should be
table.
taken lightly.
This could be what we were
Well,
looking for, Tears.
I can barely hear you.
This could be what we were looking for, Tears. This could be why we left.
That is possible.
I
It's hard to say, but it certainly could be.
hope the reward given to you is
Well.
payment enough for the deceit that I was forced to. Well, I have behaved poorly, to say the very least. But
Think nothing of it, Baron. I found it most amusing.
he gives you
Oh,
a
you do
warm
what
smile.
you had to
clever
do.
tactic indeed.
You do what you had to do, considering the circumstances.
I appreciate your understanding, and know this: I take equal risk from here on in with you, and am willing to travel with you if it would be.
He stands forward, boasting with his small little blade, looking rather harmless, and you know this to be only a prideful gesture. Baron Yoren has no combat skills whatsoever.
Your offer is much appreciated.
I believe your skills are better used elsewhere.
And Prince Oargev wraps his arm around little Yoren and says, "Perhaps you are best here, aiding me with counsel for the few weeks until I can give you travel back to House Digalanda." He sighs and says, "Yes, you are right. I have my own house to attend to. Well, heroes you will be, I believe." He looks at Orochi. "I wish you all the very best of luck."
Sounds like we'll need it.
Seems this is where we part ways for now, but I do have a feeling that we shall meet again.
Undoubtedly.
I am sure we will.
Under better circumstances, perhaps.
If my luck with chance encounters holds, I'm sure.
And Baron Yoren, ever the emotional type, a small tear forming at the corner of his eye. I'm still hungry, going to get more stew. And
You have been traveling quite a lot. It would be important for you to nourish yourself.
Fane's wiping his tears with a scratching at the sides of his eyebrows and ladles some soup into one of the wooden bowls. Sits quietly in the corner and begins to eat.
Well,
You
Rockburn,
said
let us see to your new steed, shall we?
indeed.
The, sta-
The stable master, you said.
the stable
Lord
master
Illidan.
has basically since produced several large pieces of old metal and says, "Oh, we don't have much in the way of armor for horses, but this is what we have." And you can see that it's outdated, but still practical and absolutely armor for the horse. It would protect body as well as head, muzzle, and it has little straps for uh, basically metal plates that cover the front of its legs against arrow fire or fire, perhaps.
We are to travel. Perhaps some barding for our cart as well. Reinforcement, if you will. So that I may not have to repair it so quickly again. Just a thought.
I could send some of my men to look it over, perhaps form an extra wheel or two for you, should you break one on the road.
That's right. You need wagon tongues and wagon act.
That
Rock will load the armor, such as it is, onto a floating disc.
that would be appreciated if you would see to our cart. I'm sure it could use some minor repairs as well. Thank you.
Much of your day is spent performing these kind of tasks, readying yourself for the journeys ahead, familiarizing yourself with the camp, some of the soldiers, and Oargev is, in even his rather, well, he's the least cheery of the bunch, Counselor Darwin. But for the most part, all of these people are good and honest and hardworking, dutiful people. Each of them have a place in the camp, and each of them fulfill that place each and every day, helping to contribute to a collective. You are all working together in similar fashion on the various tasks you're performing. And like I said, much of the day passes by into dusk as you all complete your various things that you're doing to ready yourself for the journeys ahead. And with that, I think this is a good place to stop for right now. It's dusk, so it's like sun setting. You're starting to see these beautiful colors start to shine on the once rather dull, misty kind of green swamp-like water surface, and the area all around with the fireflies is truly beautiful.
Nice.
And if any of you observe this in the presence of Oargev, he says to you, "You like it, huh? It's an enchantment. I had some of the casters draw it up. It seems to improve the mood of this place. Living in a swamp can wear on you. Anything to brighten the spirits of my people."
That is a most gracious choice indeed for your people. You have my respect.
Firelights.
I do not understand why such floating luminescent insects would brighten the mood, but as you say.
Well, not for everybody, certainly. He offers you all again shelter here for the night, and even offers a few what look to be damp and soggy cots if you have nowhere to sleep, and a few tents down by a shack on the side of the great redwood oak stump.
I will tell like sometime during the like before he leaves, I will give the mastiff to Baron
As a gift?
as a gift. Because I don't want to drag a poor mastiff around with us for the rest of the campaign.
Well, as you
And he
do,
can ride on it.
as you do drag the mastiff around, you begin to, basically pull him through the gaggle of the party, and as he passes by Solitude, he starts to just freak out, barking at Solitude. Obviously, not. Solitude must be a cat person.
Must be.
I am sorry, little Poochie. I apologize.
I'm
Not
gonna
good.
have to talk to Phyrix about you.
Vicious
Anyway.
barks. Strangely, Phyrix didn't have this kind of reaction.
Interesting.
Be addressed, I assume, next time.
Indeed.
Tune in next week, where you'll learn the mystery of whether
Mystery of the history.